And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Get together, have a few laughs.
Welcome to the Iowa Talk Guys podcast. I'm your host, TeePee.
I'm your host, Theo.
Who's sick as a dog.
I am remote because I don't want to spread the vid. I don't want to spread the COVID. There's no COVID. There's no confirmation of that.
He's got the Rona HIV. All right, and tonight we have some guests of ours, some friends of ours back on the show. We're hanging out with Hank and Kyle, Chef Kyle from 643 Conspiracy and Sunday Night Secret Society.
Sunday night, here we go.
And they're now they're both co-hosting each other's shows, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
Howdy, partner.
How y'all doing?
All we need to do is get Kyle off the West Coast, and we can get this North-South Highway 61 posse going here, buddy.
I've been pulling for it. Y'all gotta help me. Y'all gotta help me throw that peer pressure.
Come on, Kyle.
The second I have to do so, I am.
Well, you could be more perfect.
I am out.
I mean this 100% genuinely, buddy. If you need anything, and I don't have a lot of money, I'll tell you that right now. But if you need anything, let me know, man. I will drive the truck out to Colorado or to California.
I've got access to a 40-foot in a truck. So
if you need a load taken, buddy,
I got you. That. Yeah, it's definitely going to be in the works. Hopefully here very shortly because I can't do it no more. I can't. I'm driving myself. It's driving me nuts.
Well, and yeah, dude. Hey, I have a bunch of hotel points and stuff. So if you guys, you got the family and whatnot, and so if you need to stop over or wherever you're going, dude, I can loan you some points for some free nights.
I greatly appreciate that, and hopefully within the next year I'll be taking y'all up on some of that.
Oh yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Merry Christmas, fellas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
California Exodus.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yeah, doing God's work, getting people out of California.
Amen. I love
so gorgeous. It's such a shame. Such a gorgeous place, and it's just a shame, you know.
Unless you're a Chinese dictator, then it's a really amazing place.
Then you own it. Then it's yours.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, yeah. When you get the Chinese dictators coming through, magically the streets of San Francisco are cleaned up of all the feces and all the drugs, and I believe Newsom actually, I call him Nuisance, Governor Gavin Nuisance, but
Gruesome
yeah,
Newsom?
it was it. Yeah, he admitted the fact that he did do a lot of extra cleanup when it came to whoever the fuck the guy's name is that decided to come
Xi Jinping
and visit. Yeah, there you go, Xi Jinping. But yeah,
So-
one day. It is a shame though. I'm an hour from the beach. I'm an hour from the snow. I'm an hour from like the desert, and
California has been the inspiration of many of our nation's greatest works.
Yeah,
you know,
some shit that we're going to get into tonight. As a matter of fact,
yep.
Ooh.
But anyhow, thank you guys. Thank you for having us on.
Thanks for coming on. You guys are badass. We always love doing stuff with you guys.
Yeah, dude, you guys are awesome. So it's this is a team effort, gents.
Yeah.
All right, give me one second.
You know how I feel about y'all, and I can speak for Kyle. The feelings are definitely mutual. I don't think it's a far stretch to say that one of these days, before we're the old McDonald's coffee drinkers in the morning,
I'll never be that.
We'll meet up. We'll meet up and we'll enjoy some good frolicking and tomfoolery and just all around general fuckery.
Oh, we absolutely will, sir. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So
I won't be partaking in any McDonald's coffee or anything like that.
Yeah.
You guys do whatever crazy shit you want to.
No, we'll bring some good coffee down for you, dude. I'm sure. You know, being around all those steel freaking mills, something must be in the air. If you think McDonald's coffee is good to drink, sip on.
No, that's
Steel
just
mills.
everywhere you go, man. It doesn't matter what it is. There's just old dudes around here flock to places to drink coffee, and it's
It's those boomers, man. Those boomers, they like that basic shit.
Facts.
y'all can't even go flock like out in the woods somewhere cool or something.
They have the truck bed that they don't want to ruin the paint on. You know, they're those kind of folks.
Right.
Like never mind. I'm not going to name names.
All right, sorry. I was having some.
Before we jump into it, where's E-Rock tonight? Out being a rock star?
What is E-Rock doing tonight?
Yeah, he
rock star in it?
He is on the road. Yeah, he's got a New Year's show, so he's traveling for that.
Jealous, man.
Yeah,
I'm just so geographically fucked when it comes to. I used to call myself a musician. I mean, I read music, I play the saxophone and guitar, but it's just there's nowhere around me to play. There's places to play, there's just nobody to play with.
Without giving too much away, aren't you relatively close to Memphis, brother?
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, rich ass
that's
British
different.
Dudes have been trying to mimic that sound for decades, my friend. Like
there's
the Beatles.
just nobody out here that wants to play.
Really?
Like if I was in Memphis, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, you probably don't want to be in there.
I live with farmers and meth heads and.
That's the thing about being around the farmers, buddy. We got the same problem around here.
Yeah. But then we've got this steel mill that's hiring every illegal that knows how to swing a hammer within 5,000 miles. And none of them know how to drive, and our fucking roadways are trashed. But the economy is booming. Gas stations have never been more full.
Yeah. That's what
fucking Arabs are making out like a bandit.
That's what Karen JP or what's her stupid name? Every time I see her face, yeah, dude. Every time I see her face, it makes me want to freaking vomit, you know. But anyway,
she has lovely hair. I'll say that about her.
She said that the economy is booming. It's never been better under Biden.
You know, at least Peppermint Patty made you want to believe the lie. Like, we all knew that Peppermint Patty was full of shit.
Jen Psaki? We'll sack you back to that.
Yeah, Jen Psaki. But
we'll circle back. Yeah, she's evil.
But fuck, man, she could at least put on a good fuck you face and have you believe in. For the most part, she was genuine about the lie. Everybody, it's so easy to tell Corrine just does not give a fuck.
No, yeah. The look on her face every time she says something stupid.
Jen Psaki. Oh, sorry, brother.
Yeah, quit cutting people off, dude. I'll come over there and cut you.
The delay is horrible.
Yeah, Zoom sucks. Sorry. Not sorry. Anyway, we're getting way off topic here. Sorry. To sack you back, let's get into the tonight's topic, because this is going to be a long
There we
one.
go. Let's just do it. Let's just
get into this. All right. So we're talking about Walt Disney and Disney World. Everybody knows what crap been going on with Disney, especially like DeSantis, and there's a big fight with him and stuff. And I'm sure a lot of listeners of ours have heard about some of like the subliminal messages and stuff and whatnot in some of the Disney films of ours growing up, right? We all grew up watching
dicks,
penises, The Little Mermaid,
things like that,
boobs,
right?
So is Disney, they were branded as the trusted family brand, right? Parents could sit their kids in front of a Disney movie and be like, oh, it's a Disney movie, no big deal. And as of late, I mean, over the last couple of years, like, you know, we've been seeing stuff that, are they really for the family unit, or are they trying to break up the nuclear family? Can
I say one thing, TP?
Yeah.
In looking at information and whatnot for this, it was disappointing, man. I'm not going to get all emotional or anything like that, but like, it's disappointing that some of the connections that are made, there's not even anything necessarily crazy conclusive here, but what is conclusive is scary in and of itself. And the parallels you can draw and the places you can go from that, and how things are revealed later these days, we can draw a pretty good picture. And I was just really disappointed, man, because like I saw one of the movies that was apparently pretty MK Ultra-ish, if you will. It was like Peter Pan. And doesn't Peter Pan, like, and the music and that original illustration and whatnot, doesn't that make you like happy? Doesn't that give you a dopamine? He can fly, he can fly, he can fly.
Dude, there's and the esoteric symbols and whatnot, and the legendary, the fantasy stuff, and that. Actually, it'd be sweet to have Drew Misson on and do some esoteric deep dive symbolism into Peter Pan. Sure. But
I'm just saying, this is our childhood, and not only our childhood, but our parents' childhood.
Right.
And it's disappointing, and the nostalgia kind of
it kills it, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So it makes me sad.
Guess trigger warning. We're gonna kill one of your childhood heroes here today, friends.
More than one.
Yeah, more than one. So I mean, that's why we're coming out with a T-shirt. All my childhood heroes are dead. All my childhood heroes got murdered. All right, so
except for Jesus. Well, Jesus was murdered though, so
yeah, he was murdered too. Yeah. And all right, so let's start with Walt
Kyle,
Disney.
We got
himself.
you guys.
What's up?
Oh, all right. I just hadn't heard you guys. I want to make sure we had you.
Oh no,
we're here.
I'm here. I'm cracking up, man. You guys are cracking me up. Keep it going, baby. Let's keep it going.
Sorry. Okay, we're gonna start off here. So, I got some notes here. We're gonna go through them. Disney was born in Chicago, December 5th, 1901. He was the fourth out of 5 children, and when he was 4, his family moved down to Marceline, Missouri.
Or
a small
for
town.
those of us who know better, Misery.
Yeah,
Misery.
But when you're on Hank's side of Missouri, that's how you pronounce it.
Anyway, it apparently was a small town community that Disney remembered as having been idyllic. His father was apparently a farmer down there, but they had to sell the family farm in 1910, and the following year he relocated to Kansas City, which became very important in his life as well. Disney's father purchased a newspaper route for the next 6 years, and Walt helped with the deliveries, working before and after school and on weekends. And in 1917, his father sold the paper route and moved the family back to Chicago, where he was employed at a jelly and fruit juice company.
I wonder if there was any connection between like the Wizard of Oz and Kansas, and there's no place like home.
Oh yeah,
connection there.
Kansas City is geographically damn near right in the center of the United States as well, right? So, I mean, it's got that very Midwestern-y, down-home feel to it as well.
Hell, I go straight to the more of the risque. We look at it now as the more racially undertoned side of Disney, when you had like Briar Rabbit and all them good old cartoons, and you got to think that a lot of that was rooted in this early 1900s nowhere town in Missouri, and you got to understand, this probably wasn't what we considered a map dot town. Like, this was probably just a gathering of homesteads within like a 15-mile radius. There was like 5 families, and so. And it's like 1901.
Yeah, they moved when he was 4, so 1905.
So, dude, he's in the middle of bumfucked Egypt. Let's just be real.
Yeah, I went and looked it up. It's a cute little town now. I don't know what the pictures actually. I should try to find photos from 1905. Who knows, man? Maybe there was some really nice architecture there that happened to burn down with the rest of the country around that time of year. time
It
of the
could be
century.
true.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Go look at some of these. Look at some of these photos. There's a very beautiful building here. It looks like some type of church on a corner with a big tower on the corner of it. It's vintage.
I just know what like around here looked like around the turn of the century, and
it looks a
wasn't
lot
much.
different nowadays, but it looks like they have like a downtown area rebuilt, kind of like I would assume how Disney imagined it wanting to be.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to rebuild, I guess, in Disney World, right? Or Disneyland.
Keep in mind, right? Epcot was never intended by Walt Disney, if my mind serves me correctly, to be what do you call it? A tourist attraction, a theme park style deal, whatever you want to call it. It was intended to be the city of the future.
Oh,
15-minute city? I don't know.
yeah, that's a good point. We'll have to get into that later, though. We haven't even gotten to the part where he's building stuff. So, yeah, that's a good one, Theo. All right, so Walt ended up dropping out of high school at 16 when the United States was fighting World War I, and he joined the Red Cross Ambulance Corps by forging his birth certificate, which he was an artist, so I guess it was pretty easy for him to do it back then on those, pieces of paper.
which wasn't uncommon.
It wasn't uncommon at all. And you think about that too, dude. That's back in 1916. He was 16 years old, so that would have been 1917.
16 or 17, yeah.
And could you think of a 16-year-old nowadays wanting to sign up for war? Lying about their age to get in? No way.
Yeah, my grandfather did it.
Yeah, I know lots of people's grandfathers or great-grandfathers did it.
I was like, that used to be a thing in
Yeah.
this country.
But anyway, so he set off to France in late 1918, shortly after the signing of the armistice on the 11th November, 1911 or 1918. So when there was pictures of him driving around on his Red Cross, so he just basically was just like driving around officials and doing minuscule shit for like a year over in France, right? Since the war was over. But he had, there's pictures of him, or a picture or two, where he had drawn like cartoons on the side of his ambulance and stuff. But once he got out of the Red Cross, no place like home, like Kyle said, he went back down to Kansas City instead of Chicago. And he was hoping to become a newspaper cartoonist, but instead he found work creating advertisements for magazines and movie theaters. And then that's when he became interested in animation. So, another important part here, I'm going to skip ahead of my notes and we'll have to come back. Sorry, I have this misorganized. Because to finish this up, it says in 1922 he opened a film studio called Laugh-O-Gram, but it struggled financially and shut down in 1923. So, another reason I think why Disney was so attracted back to Kansas City. Scroll down to we'll just go down to here where it says, was Disney a Freemason? Because that's a big rumor, right? Everybody thinks that Disney was a Freemason. I thought he was a Freemason until I started digging into this, which he very well could have still been, quote unquote, a Freemason. But, I mean, he might as well have. He was in like the Hitler Youth of Freemasonry, right?
Yeah, De Mole was the name, right? But it's even said that he was like a 33rd degree Freemason,
Supposedly.
which allegedly is the highest.
Yeah, that's what they say. But I couldn't. I mean, and like you said, though, the internet was really scrubbed. Some people claim that he was. His older brother, we can get into that later, definitely was a Freemason. But Disney was a part of De Mole, yeah. And De Mole is, quote, this is from their website, "We are a premier organization based on timeless principles, omitted to developing and inspiring leadership, team building, and networking for young men ages 12 to 21. We are truly a brotherhood without borders, with members from all over the world." And it says, this is another quote off the website, "There are hundreds of thousands of members, advisors, alumni members, and supporters worldwide. While the De Mole program is international, every member belongs to a chapter, which is close in proximity to their location. It is our chapters that host fun events, fundraisers, charity drives, and much more to impact their communities. That was from the Kansas City chapter that I pulled off there, which is where...
So we're not talking about the classic Italian masterpiece. That's the mole.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Just to interject, yeah, so something that I found out too is so each chapter must be sponsored by a local Masonic body or some other group composed exclusively by Masons. So there's one Freemason that is like the liaison between that and coaches that particular.
So these
chapter.
guys are like the World Economic Forum young leaders deal, except all the way back then.
Well, like I said, it's basically
it's
like
grooming. They're fucking grooming these kids.
Yeah,
they're grooming them.
It's the Hitler Youth of fucking Freemasonry.
America.
Well, and that's what the other thing. So when these kids leave, they go into this program and they get out, they end up becoming, Yale. They go to Yale and become Skull and Bones and other shit like that, right? They have other opportunities available to them once they leave this organization, or at 21, they graduate from it, I guess, right?
Sure.
So
the door's open.
Walt joined the Del Mole as soon as he got back. It says in 1920. He was the 107th member of the original mother chapter of Del Mole in Kansas City. So Del Mole was started here by a guy named Frank S. Land, or Dad. He preferred the young men to call him, which is kind of creepy. Come talk to Daddy. Tell me what's going on, bud.
Who's your daddy?
Automatically sounds like programming.
Right? That reminds me of like some freaking like Stranger Things. Papa. But
or a pimp. Call me Daddy.
Yeah. Otherwise you get the hose again, boy. So, yeah, Walt knew Frank S. Land, Dad, very well. And Del Mole was important to Walt throughout his early life. And it is believed that his first trip back to Kansas came in 1931 when he was given. Oh, yeah. So after he goes through and does Disneyland and all this stuff, he makes another trip back to Kansas City, and he receives the Legion of Honor by Dad Land himself. So he was heavily involved in it. There's not much. I couldn't find very much of what he actually did in there. But clearly he gained some good connections through that Del Mole, because he ended up, like I said, they gave him a some type of medal or whatever award, some shit. He even drew in 1932, 1935. He drew some comic strips for Del Mole with Mickey Mouse, Pluto, and other Disney characters participating in meetings of Barnyard Chapter, Order of Del Mole. And although they bore Walt Disney's branding signature, one of them, the illustrator's Fred Spencer, also was a former member of Del Mole, which I thought was interesting because that just, like I said, so I was a Freemason. I don't know if I ever told you guys that.
Yeah. You've talked plenty of times about handshakes and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
You can just take anywhere, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, once you become a third-degree Master Mason, and yeah, you know the secret handshake and you know the right phrase word to say when certain questions are asked of you, you could enter any Masonic temple in the world, and they would accept you as a brother, even if you just murder.
Yeah, a fraternity.
Yeah, a fraternity. And with that also, you have connections. There's business owners and stuff in it and everything. So, obviously, I wonder if I thought maybe that Fred Spencer guy, maybe the only reason he got the job with Disney was because he was a Del Mole boy and was an illustrator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably was.
So, in the same year that his Laugh-O-Gram studio failed, Walt moved out to Hollywood and formed Disney Brothers Studios with his older sibling, Roy. Old Roy. After producing various short animated cartoons, the studio started making a series in 1927 about a character that Walt had developed called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. But however, the next year, it was a major blow. Walt lost the rights to his popular cartoon, and many of his employees were poached in a corporate dispute. Yeah, that's for everybody that does trivia nights. That will probably come up one time when you go to trivia. Who's Walt Disney's first character? Because a lot of people put Mickey Mouse, but it was actually Oswald the
Lucky Rabbit.
Right. And
Steamboat Willie was before Mickey Mouse as well. So Oswald, and then Steamboat Willie at least, huh?
Well, yeah. And originally also, Walt was going to call him Mortimer Mouse instead of Mickey Mouse. But decided that Mickey was better. Also, I read somewhere or saw a few other places that his wife was the one that told him, like,
that's fucking retarded.
I think she was kind of right. I agree with her.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Mortimer Mouse.
You don't think that Mortimer is a connectable name?
The Mortimer Mouse Club.
Yes. Splendid.
He'd have to have a monocle and shit. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
That'd be like the British version of Mickey Mouse in an alternate
His uncle's
universe.
the Monopoly guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah. Maybe in some other multiverse somewhere that's happening right now. Anyway, so then Mickey Mouse officially made his debut in 1928, and like you said, Theo, the Steamboat Willie film. And it was the first cartoon to use synchronized sound effects with the movement. So that was like a big deal back then. I think that was only not even 100 years ago, dude. Look what we have now with the technology.
It was a big deal that them moving pictures there had never been synchronized to music.
Right.
Yeah. You bet your ass.
No, there were some backwood Bible thumpers that were calling it the devil, not knowing just how right they were.
No kidding, right? Yeah, no kidding, dude.
Yes.
But yeah, so right after that, the rodent quickly became a star. And so, which I found was very odd too. Soon after that, that's when Mickey Mouse clubs started popping up for children. And then merchandise selling comic strips. So like almost right away, Disney's like, I got to get these kids and we got to put them in lingerie and little dresses, take pictures. And then
let's market these children and make millions of dollars off of them.
Well, they learned that after Disney died that they could do that, right? And then
I don't know.
Yeah, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake,
my boy JT.
Well, yeah, I just mean that maybe they were doing it while he was still alive.
I think they were like working their way up to that. Yes.
Well, you got to think that was probably a residual effect of him coming through this demole thing. So, I mean, it was probably just natural for him to reciprocate what had been done to him.
Maybe, yeah. That unfortunately, those things tend to happen when people don't get the proper healing. But then in the next year, that's when Mickey spoke in the next film, The Carnival Kid, and his words were. Anybody that has kids that's watched the Disney Juniors channel.
Dude, this is crazy. This is the first time I'm seeing that, but yeah, his first words were hot dog, and that's exactly what it says in the Disney Junior.
Hot diggity dog.
Yep. Oh my god.
And isn't food supposed to be used as for the pedophiles, like code words for
code language?
Yeah, pizza and hot dogs.
Yeah.
Pasta with sauce, without sauce.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
An hour of pizza.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And I like also how it's, I don't know why, I should have looked more into that, but the name Carnival Kid, Carnival spelled with a K. It's like Cartman's Community Kids with a K. Everybody will love us.
Part of the Cool Kids Club.
Yeah, so, but anyways, apparently Disney tried finding somebody to do Mickey's voice, but, and by the way, Disney was a freaking control freak narcissist once his empire got built. He really got out of control. It was like, it's wild. But he didn't like the voices, so he actually voiced Mickey Mouse until 1947. And the last one was Mickey and the Beanstalk. Everybody's seen that one, right?
Fee, fi, fo, fum, fee, fi, fo.
Classic.
Which is a classic too. And it's weird also that like almost all of Disney's stuff, especially his early stuff, are just fairy tales.
Now, fairy tales are not like Mother Goose stories that are based on facts and real people. Fairy tales are fantasy. They are fun to read. I read them myself every night, but nobody really believes them.
That he redid. They kept everything going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another sort of interesting fold or wrinkle to the whole situation, is that not only did he revolutionize things now that we would think are very simple, like synchronizing moving pictures with music.
Yeah.
But also taking old tales, lore,
tales,
fables and whatnot, and then, how do you say it? Bringing them into the public domain, marketing the hell out of them, making millions and millions of dollars off of them, and then even in some cases copywriting, trademarking, right?
Now, yeah.
And then,
yeah.
So just another whole like law industry of capture that we all live under, right?
Well, and another thing, so you'll find very few photos of Disney with like cigarettes or anything, or a drink in his hand, because he wanted the public to portray him like, kind of like Frank S. Land, like dad. You know,
like dad.
Walt Disney, he told people like, Walt Disney doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, but I do, but I don't want my image to be portrayed that way. And so I wonder also, then just as my speculation on TP's part, is if maybe from smoking so much he couldn't get that high pitch of Mickey's voice anymore in 47, so he had to give it up. His excuse is he was too busy, but.
Well, and I was about to say, I see in your notes it says that his excuse was that he was too busy, but I seen a video not yesterday that coincidentally went into this very topic, and it said that he quit doing the voice because he was literally unable to physically continue to do so. It took too much wear and tear on his vocal cords, and if he's smoking a pack and a half of heaters a day,
yeah,
you're not hitting them high notes like you used to.
Oh yeah. He's got to hike them pants up and, can't get it.
So, on the note that Disney wanted to maintain this pristine, clean, perfect perception about himself, have y'all seen the movie? I can't remember the title of it. I probably should have looked that up by now. Where Tom Hanks portrays Walt Disney.
Oh.
No.
It came out not too long ago.
I know what you're talking about.
It's a really good movie. And so TP, you know how in that movie he and I don't know if it's just
Saving
Tom
Mr.
Hanks
Banks,
or if they were, yeah, and it's the way that
I do remember that now.
He carries this air of ultimate superiority and dominance, but with the most featheristest of touches, like. The sword he swung was so sharp, but it was so light. But because he was that perfectionist, and he would walk through, and like in the movie, these dudes were making up one of the big Disney songs, and he was just like, "What is that?" And then made these dudes perfected on the spot, pretty much. And but he was so polite about it, but at the same time, he was so stern that you knew not to try to cross him, and that you better deliver what he's wanting right now.
Well, and those that did, you got put on a list.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
In my opinion, the way Tom Hanks portrays the character is the epitome of that quote, so if Walt was even close to what Tom Hanks was portraying, then we look at how he was groomed through the Demole community into what he immediately started doing with the Mickey Mouse Club. And while they'll tell you that the whole cartoon thing, animation thing, initially started as being targeted for adults and whatever for propaganda, you have to know that Walt, in the back of his mind, is thinking, I'm going to get to the kids. Like, this is for the kids. At the end of the day, cartoons, especially nowadays. Well, I'm not ashamed to say that I still watch cartoons, but 30 years ago,
That's a really good
30
point.
years ago, grown men didn't watch cartoons.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, now South Park is hilarious as hell.
Exactly. Because it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
But you just, I mean, you look at all the things that are leading Walt into the position where he's at very early on in his empire, and then you just look at everything that comes out even while he's still alive, because I don't think I think it's important to note that the stories, like we noted, he was telling fairy tales.
Yeah.
But he was telling them in a light that had never been told to a mass amount of public before. I mean, these were very dark, disturbing, sobering, tales from ancient Europe. These were
and these were also
the brothers Grimm were no sunshines and rainbows, and he was putting them out with a mouse and a wizard's hat.
Right.
But not only that, he was
Hollywoodized
stimulating brand new senses, right?
Right. Movies mostly were all in black and white. I mean, I think Snow White was the first full color synchronized.
Well, I mean, not even
film,
color,
right?
just the moving picture matched with sound.
Well, yeah, we already established that.
Revolutionary. So now, but yeah, I'm just saying now you have multiple senses that have not been stimulated in the way that they are.
Right.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first color movie that's animated, full length, and with sound.
Sure.
And
that probably set the stage for certain people's, not too far down the road from when he figured it out to ultimately overtake control of it and use it against us to an even further degree.
Well, and like you said, hold on, Theo, like you said, Hank, he was like, oh, I get to the kids and stuff. It's for the kids. It's for the children. It's for the babies. But, Lester Crowley said that too, like corrupt them when they're young, Well,
we all know that's the true demographic for any people and or peoples with ill intent to another group of peoples or establishment, because it's very hard to convince people our age and older to coup d'etat the government. But if you literally breed it into the fabric of the kids growing up, then by the time that those kids have kids, you're where we currently are. And in a overthrow of what we hold safe is very real. We watch it every day, but it started with somebody's kids.
Yeah.
And then they grew up and fed it to their kids.
What did Stalin say? Give me a generation and I'll change the world, or something like that.
Sure.
Give me one generation.
Yep.
So now you have to think, well, they've had more than that in the United States. We know that objectively.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not everybody, but yeah, there's a lot.
Well, I mean, that even goes also to, like I've mentioned to some people about all the, the crazy stuff, like at least as far as like the subliminal messages go, with Disney, and a lot of like adults that they've been fucking brainwashed. They're not even willing to look into it. And they're like, oh, who cares? Like, we grew up watching it. Like, I also grew up going to school, right? I went to a public school, and there's a lot of things that were taught to me incorrectly. And there was a lot of, a lot of debauchery, I guess. And it makes it harder, but it takes a certain individual to be able to break that mold. Yeah. Like, my kids don't go to school. My kids are, and with that being said, I also have we have the luxury of being able to do that, being that my fiance is a stay-at-home mom, but it's all about breaking these molds. With that being said, like, I still let my youngest daughter watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I mean, don't feel bad. We're actively watching the Street Shark cartoons with our children. Like, we normally during supper we'll turn something on and watch it as a family, and we stumbled upon Street Sharks on Tubi, I think it was, and I was just like, no way, we're watching Street Sharks. I'm not gonna care about they were worried about transhumanism even way back then, but like, dude, Street Sharks is awesome. My children are getting some fundamental education right now.
Well, dude,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my god, it's an amazing cartoon. It's horrible.
It was from the
back at
90s.
it now.
Yeah, it was from
looking
like the
back
early
at
90s.
it now with the grown-up's eyes. I'm ruining it, but
yeah,
it was dudes who were sharks.
It's amazing though, because like, I mean, it's really, and it's up to us, I guess, as parents, for what our kids can see at a certain point. But eventually, they're going to be exposed. My teenage daughters are like, they have phones now. They have all this crap.
Yeah.
All we can do is our best.
13.
But I mean, Theo and I years ago, I had a conversation. I'm like, dude, like we got rid of cable and a lot of crap because I'm like, have you seen some of this garbage like our kids are watching? He's like, no. I'm like, sit down and watch a show with your kids sometime. Like, oh, what's that? Adventure Time? That shit's like an acid trip gone bad, dude.
Oh yeah.
That show scares the shit out of me. I'm like, there's no way this is a kid's show. And then,
Adventure Time is like our generation's like Ren and Stimpy.
And Ren and Stimpy is a bad, terrible acid trip. Well, it's more like a bad, terrible meth trip while you're drunk.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But it makes you think. So I had to have this conversation with my 3-year-old son the other day where there was talking animals. And he thinks all the shit he sees is real on TV, right? I mean, he's 3 though. And how do you try to explain to him that that's not real? And I was like, do our dogs do that? And he's like, no, our dogs can't talk. I'm like, does your aunt's dogs do that? No. I'm like, dogs can't do that. He's like, but those dogs do. I'm like, but that's not real, son. So like, trying to have a conversation, but it made me think, I'm like, how many of these other kids are going around where their parents have never had this conversation with them? I mean, even with like, the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and shit. Shit's not real. The whole world is in on this fucking lie. And I mean,
yeah, how many people have went out there and some young dumb kid and shot the shit out of somebody and killed him and had absolutely no idea what they actually did. Yep. No comprehension, no deep understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, because we've been so desensitized from a young age.
In their mind, there's really no repercussions.
No.
God forbid they're in one of these cities where they're right back out of jail before the night's over with.
Right.
There's no
like
repercussions for their actions.
That just happened.
Yeah, and
that
sorry.
literally just happened.
Yeah, some guy stabbed 2 teenage girls in Atlanta or something on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And he's back out on the streets today.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry we kind of running hopped off this. But hey, I know also, so around this time in the 1940s and stuff, Kyle, you brought up something about some of your notes that you did during your research about Fantasia and some other stuff, right?
Yeah. So I kind of just looked up some movies that had like occult undertones that kind of started depicting like good versus evil, light versus dark, and Fantasia was one of them. And I watched a clip, and this clip is if you look it up, it's called Night on Bald Mountain. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing this name right, but it's a demonic Chernabog, which is summoning the dead, right? And this is, again, back in the 1940s. And it kind of, the Chernabog kind of almost looked like a gargoyle-esque figure with huge bat wings. And then also the head to me reminded me of like I'm gonna draw a blank on the name, but like the owl that they fucking worship over like there you go, Moloch over at Bohemian Grove.
Or no.
Well, the Moloch,
Hank knows. Shut the hell up, Theo.
Yeah, Moloch, but. So we got that one. That was a really weird one. I only watched it for like 3 or 4 minutes, but essentially this big old thing's up. You see these like dead souls kind of like swooping through. And then you got the Black Cauldron, and that was done in 1985. I know it's a little bit later. But it looks like a half human, half animal. So kind of like Krampus, if you will.
Is that what we talked about on our last swap?
We went into
what's the human whatever thing in the horse.
Yes. I forgot the fucking name of it.
No. TeePee, you know what we're talking about. Remember the Chimera?
Yes, Chimera. There we go.
Well, yeah, but no. What was it called? What was the one that happened in the horse?
Oh, that was
Talking about the homunculus.
Homunculus. Yes, that was.
There we go. All right. Ding, ding,
Homunculi. Homunculi. Yeah. So yeah, same type of thing, right? It just for us that kind of dive into this shit when you see like a half human, half goat, half animal, half whatever, like that's usually a sign of like something,
some Nephilim shit.
You know.
Yeah,
some Nephilim shit. Exactly. So the Black Cauldron was back in 1985, and again, it looks like a half human, half animal, and it almost looked like it had like 2 ears on the front of the front of the head, and then towards the back of the head had big ass horns. So they look like antlers,
like a big goat.
Yeah, exactly.
A ram.
In this particular scene, the landscape in my notes, the landscape was really dark with like red undertones, and this goes back, and purple. It almost looks like
a lot of purple and whatnot.
Yeah, it was just like mainly dark, but then like the accent colors in the back were like your dark purples, your reds.
I remember it now from you talking about it, bro.
Yeah, it reminded me of, if you've ever, I'm sure we've all seen when Alex Jones supposedly like infiltrated Bohemian Grove. Yep. It looks like the Bohemian Grove set. There's like stone, almost like you walk up, almost like a big altar, I guess.
An altar, dudes in robes and shit.
Yeah, yes, and I think I even have that in my notes. I believe they were. Oh yes, hold on. So then, okay, so that's that one. Then the next one, right? We got the Hunchback of Notre Dame back in 1966 or 1996.
Real quick. I just want to say, Fantasia scared the shit out of me as a kid. I remember that.
I never dug it, dude. And I'm with you, TeePee.
And when you said
we've never talked about this.
No, we haven't.
Never talked about this, bro.
Hold on. When you said night on Bald Mountain, I thought you said night on Ball Mountain. I had to go look it up. But hey, you know what? I mean, ball, not too far from each other. And maybe back then,
not at all.
Disney was like, I can't just throw it in their faces like this right away. We got to ease them into it. But anyway,
Bald
sorry.
Mountain.
Yeah. But I just want to throw that in there.
You're good. The next one is kind of crazy. So the Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? That was made in 1996. And during the scene, it's called the Hellfire Song. You have, I forgot this fucking dude's name.
Quasimodo.
No, not Quasimodo. It was the guy that murdered Quasimodo's mother, I believe. Oh, Judge Frollo. So in this scene, he's like staring into a fire pit, right? And it's all fire, and he's staring at it, and he's talking about Maria. He keeps saying Maria multiple times. I didn't quite gather what Maria was. So after that scene, while he's staring into the fire, he then is walking down like a really long pathway. And on either side of him, as he is singing, there are men in red robes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lined with...
like Eyes Wide Shut or some shit.
Yeah.
Yes. That and some Handmaid's Tale shit. But it almost looks like towards the end of that, like he gives an offering, and it was like a purple cloth. I had to go back and watch the entire thing. I just watched that particular clip, and it's got a couple 6-sided stars on the cloth, and he ends up throwing it into. It's also got a half of a moon on there. So I don't know exactly the symbolism there, but it's definitely there.
Yeah, a lot of it.
And he pretty much throws that into the fire, and then. Another one, you got Ariel, right, from like Little Mermaid. She essentially.
Real quick, did you know that Notre Dame, or the Hunchback of Notre Dame, was once again going back to the tales and fairy tales and stuff? That was based off of a French Gothic novel from like 1831.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
the festival.
TeePee coming in strong with the facts.
Let's go.
The festival that in the movie got Quasimodo exposed because he left the cathedral when he wasn't supposed to, and he was chosen as the ugliest person. Remember, because they had this festival, and it was a mask. If you wore the ugliest mask, then you would be made king for a day, pretty much. And that was a real festival. Like that really happened in real life. France was on that bullshit.
Yeah, I would believe that. then Notre Dame, dude, that cathedral is just so amazing. It's so wild. I'd love
How
to
do you
visit
build
in real
stuff
life.
like that? Who builds shit like that these days?
No one. Yeah, I know. They would tear that down and
Give
put
me
up
some contractors.
Come on now.
a stupid ass
I want some
glass
contractors.
box. Yeah, they'd put up a glass box and be like, "This is a what's the word they're using for now? Contemporary construction or what?"
Yeah. Something that's very vandalism prone. Something that somebody can make a statement by blowing the fucking windows out of it. Something like that. You know.
Well, I mean, you just think a culture would reflect if it was an advanced. If we were so advanced, it would reflect in our architecture as well, just like other civilizations have throughout forever, right? But if a nuke were to hit all of our shit right now, there would literally be nothing left. The Great Pyramids would still be standing, but none of the shit that we built nowadays would be. But anyway, sorry.
Like you brought up the Capitol, the old Iowa Capitol, when we were on the episode with Drew Misson.
Yeah.
And how beautiful it is. It's very small, mind you.
That's gorgeous.
It's just limestone, perfectly put up,
stimulates
on
the
top
mind
of each other. Yeah, I sent you that picture that day that I was on my way to the football game for Iowa.
Yeah.
Why don't they build stuff like that these days that will stay up forever?
Or ones that
if a nuke goes off 100 miles away, or not 100 miles away, but maybe even a little closer, but depends on the size of the nuke. Everything's going to be burnt out of that thing, but there's still going to be some limestone in a structure, right?
True.
They just don't do it.
I think it's a sacrifice that we chose to make in the sake of pinching a penny, honestly.
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, I don't think
pinching
there's
a penny for
any
people to make
nefarious.
profit.
Yeah, I don't think that when it comes to the architecture question, I just don't think that there's anything. Of course, there's probably somebody in the know that's making the decision to pinch the pennies, but I don't think that it's like a widespread Kabbalistic, measure to. I just think it's a bunch of fucking misers trying to make all the money and not let anybody else have any. And if people can be fucked off even more in the process, then hooray.
Right. Yeah, I don't know,
So
man. But let's continue with this. Kyle, did you have some more on that? On the
No. I think the last little thing was just the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
How essentially, right? Ariel wants to like sell her soul so that she can become a human. So she can marry the man of her dreams.
Yeah.
A prince, but then at the same time, she's selling her soul. But then what happens when you sell your soul? You got to make a sacrifice, right? So what her sacrifice was then losing her voice.
Right.
And I believe her mom in the movie, who, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, don't shoot me. I think her mom passes away. And that also goes back to like Bambi, right? What happens to Bambi? If you've ever seen Bambi, you'll never forget Bambi's mother being shot and killed. And it starts with the trauma.
Every Disney movie starts with that trauma.
Exactly. And then they come through, and it's all right. I know you're sad. Disney's going to be here to take care of you.
Because
MK
Walt
Ultra.
Disney is dad.
MK Ultra. No, I think it goes deeper than that. Yeah, it's so going back to
I think it goes all the way back to the Demoles.
Dude, so like having that conversation with my 3-year-old where he thinks everything on TV is real. So supposedly when some of this shit happens that kids are watching, like if they see a traumatic event happen, their brain's like, I just witnessed a traumatic event, even if it's on TV. Yep. So, or a movie or whatever. So when they see like the parents die or something like that, then it's like, essentially that's traumatizing children.
Sure it is.
I think that's kind of part of the, like we all watch movies, right? And sometimes you're watching this movie or even a show for that matter, and you get, especially one of the longer shows that's got a few seasons and you get attached to these characters, and then they end up dying off, and you're like, no, like one of the hard ones for me, like if y'all seen Sons of Anarchy, dude, when Opie gets fucking beaten to death, like that's probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, and I've spent a lot of time on some very terrible websites, and I've seen some bad shit. But that one hit me because it was I had in my brain I had like a relationship with this guy. I feel I knew him.
Yep.
And that makes for good television. I get that. However, the problem
That's why The Walking Dead's dead, you know.
Yeah. But why do? But the question is that it does make good television. You do have that's a fact. But in the same breath, like, do we really need to be doing that for our children? I mean, you go from essentially you go from Disney Junior to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, right? Which I haven't seen anything super nefarious there. But then boom, you got Bambi, right? And then you're like, oh fuck. So I don't know. There's a lot to it. There's an agenda there for sure.
What wasn't Homeward Bound Disney?
Homeward Bound.
All Dogs Go to Heaven Disney. Yeah,
I think All Dogs Go to Heaven might have been. I don't know if that was Disney or not. That might have been, or was it straight to DVD Disney?
But then you got like Pinocchio and
Land Before Time.
All of these movies deal with some sort of death and seemingly insurmountable loss that must be surmounted.
All Dogs Go to Heaven was MGM.
Okay.
But no,
so Disney,
you're right.
Disney adjacent.
Pinocchio, there's some super esoteric, some whacked up shit in there. That's like Epstein Island shit, child abduction.
Hey, sorry. Disney MGM Studios.
Now? This was in 1989. All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, probably. I mean, pretty close to. They bought it.
Oh yeah,
they own it now.
They have for a while, but when did they do that? Anyways, yeah, you're right. It's probably Disney. Hold on.
1989.
That's when that was All Dogs Go to Heaven. I thought it was 1989. Is what I just read.
Oh, no, I was looking up when did Disney MGM Studios open.
It's almost like Disney had a concerted effort to instill separation anxiety into the viewers, because I mean, even like Lady and the Tramp, like the whole first third of the movie is dealing with separation.
You bet. And getting cortisol injections up in the like kids' brains and whatnot.
Sure.
Get them all stressed out.
Yeah, they had to rush the baby to the hospital because it got that rat in there, whatever.
The rat.
I still don't like them fucking cats.
Oh yeah, those Siamese.
Siamese.
Please kill us, please. Yeah.
If you please.
Weird ass cats.
Yeah, coming out of that fucking picnic box all crazy and creepy and shit. Anyway.
Bullying that damn dog for no fucking reason.
What's that?
Some more anxiety that Disney just had to impart on us. I said they was bullying that damn dog for no fucking reason.
Yeah, and we're all like, why? Yeah, they're emotionally invested. Oh, I get it, dude. My sisters...
These cats are fucking pricks, man.
My sisters used to get so emotionally invested in like the Land Before Time movies that they would like be crying and shit. You know? Yeah,
I still, man, those hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, those hit me. I struggle making it through some Land Before Time.
Yeah, dude. When Chomper left.
Don't look back, Littlefoot. Keep walking.
Oh, goodness gracious. Anyways.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, like, when watching all that stuff, so what does that do into the child psyche? You can't tell me that these multi-billion-dollar companies don't know what this stuff is doing, right? Especially, so Disney was involved with the military, right? With the United States government. That's a proven fact. During World War II, Disney employees created educational films for various federal agencies, including a 1942 animated short, The New Spirit, which was commissioned by the Treasury Department to encourage people to pay their income taxes to support the war effort.
Make sure you pay them taxes.
Yeah.
Make sure you pay them taxes.
We need to kill those dirty Japs that got us at Pearl Harbor, that we didn't see that attack coming at all.
Whoa, dude. You broke it out. You did.
What?
You broke it out. You said dirty. I'm not going to say it.
We went from paying taxes to horrendous slurs in
no, seriously.
0 seconds.
It's a really good point.
That's what they were doing.
We're going to have to slap the dirty little Jap.
What did you say?
Said I want to slap a Jap, Gunny.
That's what the enemy is to you, huh? A fucking bucktooth cartoon dreamed up by some asshole on Madison Avenue to sell soap. Well, let me tell you something. The Jap I know, the Japanese soldier, he has been at war since you were in fucking diapers! He's a combat veteran, an expert with his weapon. He can live off of maggoty rice and muddy water for weeks and endure misery you couldn't dream up in your worst nightmare! The Japanese soldier doesn't care if he gets hurt or killed, as long as he kills you.
What are you going to do?
This is all around the same time that the OSS is beginning to start.
They take it.
Yeah.
And you eat the boats.
Well, this is actually around the time frame that I think the OSS was getting into bed with the Italian mafia. That's a whole nother story. You guys know about that one?
For what?
No.
Oh, buddy.
It
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me, but
Once you get in
there's
bed
another
with,
mini-series for their future.
yeah, once you get in bed with the mafia, you don't get out. Yeah, like Jude.
Well, yeah,
Dude, that is a whole
the
other
mafia
series.
probably has better intelligence than them.
Yeah, well,
It makes, and you
It's
know,
private.
it's no wonder
did,
that
that's
this
why.
film.
go ahead. Sorry.
It's the private sector. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Hank.
No, y'all are good. I was just gonna say, I think it's no coincidence that the film, this new Spirit, the film that the Treasury Department wants you to pay your taxes, it starred Donald Duck, whose uncle is a fucking miser from hell. Scrooge McDuck is a wild cat.
He sure is.
So I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like that dude ain't that dude's pinching every penny. And so here's his nephew coming along in the 40s talking about to pay your taxes, boys.
Yeah, that's
slick.
like Oprah and Rock asking for fucking donations from ours.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here.
Oh my goodness. Hey, but it earned an Academy Award nomination. It was such a good film. And that's The New Spirit too. Interesting wording for that film, right? The New Spirit.
The New Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what was wrong with the
your
other
patriotic duty is pay your taxes.
Yeah,
Make
that's
sure that you give DC their money.
Right. The American
that might be
spirit.
the exact point in time where the thought process in America was swayed for us as a people. Is this one movie like? Where what was wrong with the Spirit before this movie? Like,
I don't know. I think it might have been before that, buddy. And that's a whole other episode.
Yeah. But Disney, they also made training films for the American military and created, free of charge, to help with their own personal war effort, more than 1,000 insignia for military units.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Streaming insignia.
I want to find an insignia where Mickey Mouse is freaking bayonet.
Like two bullets crossed over Mickey Mouse's head.
Cross rifles and freaking, he's got scars on his face.
And then you got, what was the movie where the end of the movie is basically the soldiers marching out singing the Mickey Mouse Club or the Mickey Mouse Club.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
Stanley Kubrick film.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Stanley
I know.
Kubrick film.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Who doesn't he have some deep ties into Disney?
He has some deep ties into the CIA and this other stuff. I mean, supposedly Kubrick filmed the moon landing. He was the one behind. He was the mad genius behind
That's
that.
a big conspiracy.
Disney adjacent.
A big conspiracy.
They smoke cigars together.
Oh, I bet. They're hanging out in Club 33. Oh, wait, no. Disney wasn't able to enjoy that because he died. But they would have been. They might have been hanging out at the World's Fair in New York or whatever. And Disney went to that.
New York was the big one, right, for Disney?
Yeah. That's where,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also, and you can find these short films, going back to this, the World War II, Disney working with the government. 1943's The De Fier's Face, which is a pretty funny one. That's another one where Donald Duck's a Nazi.
Donald Duck.
He's a Nazi.
Yeah, Donald Duck.
Yeah.
We bring the world new order.
Heil Hitler's golden order!
Apparently, after reading the 1942 best-selling Victory Through the Air by Major Alexander de Zervatsky, Disney, driven by his own patriotism, decided to adapt it as a 1943 live-action animated feature of the same name to win support of the book's theories, considered controversial by some U.S. military officials, about the strategic long-range bombing. Both President Franklin Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Winston Churchill saw the film, which reportedly made an impression on them. Long
Would love
range.
to know what that impression was.
Strategic long range bombing.
Sure.
Right.
Who ended up
The leveling
after Operation Paperclip? who was pretty big over in Germany with some long range bombing technologies.
Werner von Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who came and went to work for NASA and Disney. You can get on YouTube and you can find Disney films of Werner von Braun talking about space flight and all this stuff and getting, rockets to the moon and whatever and yada, 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 shit like that.
Can I sacky back just really quick and we don't lose where you just made the Werner von Braun point, which is an excellent point. But Donald Duck made fun of Hitler only 4 or 5 years after he was Time Magazine Man of the Year.
Right.
So explain that to me. That's really weird.
Well,
but
he wasn't the enemy then. And
right, that's what I'm saying. In like 4 years.
Government contracts pay good money.
Yeah, so yeah. But then Werner just made it over. An SS officer.
Right. This is later.
Order.
Of the highest order, right. But he was one of the good Germans. Don't worry about it. He was
just following the orders.
Yeah.
The bodies did not mean very much to Werner. Okay.
He was just doing his job because he loves science so much. Yeah.
He does not worry about bodies. He worries about rockets. Okay.
It's not like he loads the Luftwaffe.
Yeah.
He just comes up bombs. He no loads the bombs.
TeePee used this, or you gave this quote on our episode. Something paraphrasing. We developed the rockets. There they go. It's out of my hands.
Right. Yeah. I don't program that.
I just go drink a spicy. I drink a spicy bison.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. I just make the rocket.
Yeah. And, that's why they're like, cool, come build rockets for us because we're awesome. We're America.
Yeah, you're fucking way better at it than us. So never mind all those bodies that you stepped over and the PR that we're going to make out of it later.
Right. Yeah.
Come on over here and die in your bed in Texas as opposed to on the gallows where in Nuremberg.
Receiving your nice American pension checks.
Yeah, that's right.
Till the day you died.
Nice American pension checks.
Very nice.
He wasn't actually like a pension check guy, though, right?
I don't know. He made a lot of money.
He was
in America.
He was like vaults of gold at the family estate in Germany type of a guy.
Maybe. Yeah, but he never returned to Germany. Anyways, so yeah, there's that Werner von Braun connection. But yeah, I guess so far Disney holds a record for the most individual Oscar wins, which is 22 and 59 nominations.
Which
that was when he was alive.
He was playing baseball. That's a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, it was pretty outstanding. And then I always heard, Disney was a Nazi and stuff like that, which I mean he very well could have been still. But here is like the only evidence that through multiple different sources that I could find. Disney during World War II, Walt was active in making those training films and shit. But he was also, he made many strong propaganda shorts attacking the Nazis, like we discussed earlier. He ended up pissing off a bunch of his animators and stuff. Somewhere along the lines, there was like some tension because of the way that he treated some of his employees, and some of them went on strike. There was a big deal about that.
The following audio clip is from a PBS documentary called Walt Disney. Aired August 29, 2017.
Employees at the Walt Disney Studios had been begging for better wages, extra pay for overtime, and a uniform system for determining job titles and screen credits for months. Walt had waved this off as the hobby horse of a few hotheads and union agitators, right up to May 29, 1941, the day nearly half of his art department walked out to take up positions on the picket line. The strike demonstrations got bigger in the first weeks, and louder, and so did the threat to the already shaky studio. A month into the strike, Disney refused to recognize the union representing his workers, the Screen Cartoonists Guild. He refused to negotiate with the Guild's representative, Herbert Sorrell, and he refused to make apologies to the man whose firing had prompted the strike, longtime Disney animator Art Babbitt.
There was one day where Art Babbitt noticed Disney driving to the gate. And Babbitt just kind of blew a stack and just jumped over and grabbed a bullhorn and shouted out loud so everybody could hear, "There he goes, the great man." And basically just heaped abuse on Disney. Shame on you, Walt Disney.
As the crowd cheered, Disney jumped out of his car and charged at Babbitt. The two men had to be pulled apart.
Yeah, and so after that, a lot of the guys that are on strike, and after the strike had ended, they got fired. Like Disney made a list of all the people that were on that strike, out doing striking and shit, so he could find ways to fucking get rid of them later, you know?
The gal I married was a secretary in personnel. She was called up to Walt's office to help on the files, and she would go through and find people that were out on strike, and they were moved from here to this file. Walt came in and said, "How's it going?" She just said, "What are we doing this for?" And he said, "Well, these are the people that are true to Disney. These are the people who at one time or one day will not be here."
After the strike, Walt distrusted everybody. One of the great animators who worked on Snow White said Walt Disney was a great man. Walt Disney was a genius. If you were his friend, he was a warm friend. If you crossed him, he was a mean SOB.
And they were mainly striking for better wages because Disney was making hand over fist, and also the treatment and mainly the wages. They weren't getting paid shit versus what Disney was bringing in. You know what I mean?
Revolutionary type of income.
Yeah. And he's also like, well, these people they should want to work for me at the wages that I pay them just because they work for me because I'm Walt fucking Disney, right? He had that. He was getting to that type of fucking narcissistic mentality. But there was an animator named Art Babbitt who held a well-known grudge against Walt Disney for a variety of reasons and claimed that he had seen Walt and Disney's lawyer Guthrie Lessing attending a few of the German-American Bund meetings, which is an association of German immigrants that supported Hitler and the Nazi Party. And that while he was Jewish, Babbitt said he also attended just out of curiosity. I was there just because I was curious of what these Nazis were doing and talking about. And
Wouldn't you do it though?
I mean, yeah, if you wanted to do your diligence.
I mean, yeah, if you were a Jew, wouldn't you be curious?
I would, yeah. I mean, especially at that time.
Wouldn't you have volunteered?
You couldn't just get on your fucking iPhone the next morning after the rally and find out what it, read an article about it, right?
I'm surprised there weren't more Jews jumping at the chance to go volunteer to go to these meetings. I'm left it up to one guy. Like,
well, yeah, I don't know, but it is entirely possible that Walt's own curiosity to learn what was going on brought him to the same meetings. However, no one else has ever claimed that Walt attended these meetings, and his busy schedule probably precluded him from doing so. There was no indication in his office appointment book that he did. So he kept meticulous fucking appointment notes. He was a guy that wrote a schedule and stuck to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, Walt Disney was pretty squared away with that. That's how he ran his business. So I don't know. But, and this is also through those meticulous notes that he used to take of his meetings and shit and all this stuff. There was a German filmmaker, Lene Riefenstahl. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Riefenstahl. Whose documentaries helped to glorify the Nazis and was a favorite of Adolf Hitler, who she was allowed to visit the Disney studios and meet with Walt Disney in 1938 when she was in Los Angeles promoting her movie Olympia about the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin. Other studios refused to see her because of Nazis, apparently. But Disney did have a meeting with her. And the invitation came because of a request of a mutual friend, which probably was, I don't know, maybe a Freemason. Dancer and actor Jay Stowitz.
Maybe.
I didn't really look into that guy, but I could only imagine. That'd probably have to be it, because it's not like how, I'm sure if other studios were refusing to see this woman, and Disney's in the fucking film industry, even though it's cartoons, but I'm sure he had to have heard about this woman, right? I would assume. But
I mean, you would
go ahead.
One would think.
Yeah.
One would think.
Yeah, who told Walt that she was a Riefenstahl, felt he was an important filmmaker. She offered to show him her latest film, but Walt turned it down and later disavowed her visits. That bitch bit my dick. claiming he hadn't known who she was. So after the first visit, I guess nothing happened or whatever, and then he didn't want to ever see her again. Then he found out who she was. But it says here, what I read, he might have met her to try to encourage her to use her leverage to help recover more than 1,350 Reichmarks owed Disney from his German film distributor, and to get the ban in Germany lifted on his Disney films. Because, yeah, Adolf Hitler apparently, I read conflicting reports on this. Some say that he loved Mickey Mouse, but since it was such a symbol of America, he had it banned in Germany, even though he himself was a fan of it.
Makes sense.
So I guess we have some issues, huh?
Yeah, so on finding out Hitler was banning Mickey Mouse cartoons, Walt demonstrated in his political naivety in the Overland Monthly, October 1933, where he stated, quote, Mr. A. Hitler, the Nazi old thing, says Mickey's silly. Imagine that. Well, Mickey is going to save Mr. A. Hitler from drowning or something someday. Just wait and see if he doesn't. Then won't Mr. A. Hitler be ashamed?
Oh, boy! Woof. You don't talk to me like that! You little piece of shit! Get the up! Get the up! Now, do we have a problem?
No, sir. No, Mr. Mouse. No, Mr. Mouse.
Oh, that's good, because I thought we had a problem for a minute there, huh?
Which I thought was really weird.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Yeah, guess what? Mickey's gonna watch your ass drown, bitch. But,
bye, Felicia.
Yeah, bye. That's right. Despite being a persistent urban myth, Walt never met with Benito Mussolini in Italy in 1935. I never heard that he had done that.
I had heard certain reports that he met with Mussolini, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I don't know.
Until
I'm not an expert, but
yeah, until I started researching this some more, I never even knew that was a thing. I was like, oh, I never heard that rumor or anything. Heard he was a Nazi, not that he met with Mussolini, but I don't know.
All I know is that Mussolini's jaw, he's like the only individual in the history of the world whose bottom jaw is so, like, it's the width of his skull. It's the width of his cranium. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. There was a German general that had a pretty freaking weird head.
Shit. Yeah, dude, that's fucking weird. You know who he looks like? He looks like,
Mussolini?
Yeah, Mussolini Mussolini looks to me like Lord Farquaad, I think, from fucking Shrek.
Dude, face looks like this without the facial hair. It's like,
dude,
mouth all wide and.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yeah, now that you say that, damn, that's hilarious. Huh, that's a Disney film too. That's weird.
Yeah, I thought I'd offer a little comedy there.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah, despite
comedy, but it's true.
It is funny. So some of the stuff, though, in recent years, animated comedies like Family Guy and Robot Chicken have revived the falsehoods that Walt Disney was a Nazi and an anti-Semitic, introducing a new generation to this repeatedly debunked rumors. Why would Disney? Why would Family Guy? Why would Fox and Cartoon Network do that?
Because it's fucking hilarious and profitable.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't get it. Yeah, another myth, though, I wanted to throw in here. So I always thought this, too, and Family Guy and both Robot Chicken have made fun of this also. They said that Disney was cryogenically frozen. You guys heard that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in 1966, the doctors found out that Disney, who was a longtime smoker, had lung cancer, and he died at a Burbank hospital the following month on December 15th at age 65. Not long after his death, stories began circulating in a tabloid press that the filmmaker had been cryogenically preserved, that is, that he'd been frozen in ice in the hopes that science might one day make it possible for him to be brought back to life. Well, maybe he should have done that, because I bet Disney could have brought him back to life by now.
What do you think all of that ice does to your tissue?
Oh.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. Have y'all
it
ever
just
dug
fucking
out
destroys it. It just destroys it.
Flash freezing.
You ever dug out a steak? Yeah, ever dug out a steak out of your freezer or something, and it looks good until you pull it out and it's fucking freezer burnt, and that's a raw piece of meat. I don't know. I've always thought about that. Like, how in the hell is freezing you?
The brain is not going to last that long.
No.
No. Yeah, if they could revive you, it'd be like a Frankenstein. You'd just be a vegetable. They might be able to get your lungs moving and shit, and maybe your heart going with stuff, getting shock in it, and a ventilator. I don't know.
I think they probably could have done that if they had the help of Elon Musk nowadays. I think they could probably figure that shit out.
No, he's too busy building rockets and shit.
True.
He can't be bothered with that. But yeah, no, so Disney was cremated, and his ashes were interned in a mausoleum in Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale, California. You can Google that and go look at there's pictures of him. Glendale, yeah, what did I say?
You said Glendale. I was just noting Glendale.
Oh.
I had seen it on a map before.
Unlike Mr. Walt Disney, somebody who was cryogenically frozen was Mr. Ted Williams, baseball legend, and he was actually cryogenically frozen against his will.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part.
There
must have been his ex-wife.
Son. His son is a piece of shit, dude. Like, there's a whole scandal that surrounded the time period where Ted Williams lost cognitive control and a lot of decisions his son made on his behalf. Like, the last time Ted Williams made an appearance at a ballpark, Ted always wore his Boston hat, and he could barely argue with his son, but his son wanted him to wear one of his startup company's hats. Like, he'd started some internet company back in, the early 2000s, and Ted didn't want to do it, but dude wheeled him out. And at the last second, like, as they're busting into public sight, dude, his son takes his dad's hat off and puts on one of his company hats, and
What?
Wow.
For real.
What a shithead.
There's a couple of good videos out there about that and how Ted didn't want his son froze him and actually sold off his dad's DNA to women so that Ted Williams could
live on.
Yeah. Like, this was this dude's son, not stepson, not son-in-law, like son.
That's messed up, dude.
The fruit of his loins.
Probably grew up a little entitled.
I mean, yeah, but I can't believe it would be that entitled. Ted Williams stopped playing baseball twice to go serve in World War II.
Yeah, that's...
Flew fucking jets in World War II twice. Like, he had a Hall of Fame career.
Flew planes.
Well, they were airplanes, bro. Sorry.
It's all right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
He had like a Hall of Fame career. Then he went and served in World War II. Then came back and had a Hall of Fame career again, and then served again, and then came back and had another Hall of Fame career.
Wow.
Ted Williams was that man.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't hug his son
true
enough.
American. Just work. Just do it. Just work.
So I have a hard time thinking, I mean, but who knows? Maybe he was the one guy that was in the military that didn't treat his son like he was from the military.
Or maybe just came back with a bunch of PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
Took it out on his kid.
Time.
I don't know. I've met a
accident.
couple fucked up kids from military families.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows, dude? I mean, that's like, especially then, they didn't even... like, and those guys was just like deal with it, so they would just swallow everything and then have fucking nightmares for the rest of their life and shit. You know?
Yeah.
So who knows?
Daddy wasn't home.
Yeah, maybe that was his kid's payback for this is what you get for slapping me around. I don't know.
Hit that fucking Austin Powers. Daddy wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to continue on with this, yeah, he wasn't cryogenically frozen, but going back to the Freemason thing, to Saki back to that.
Saki back.
Yeah, Jen Psaki back. Walt Disney's pride in Demole association remained with him his entire life, so much so that he wore a Demole ring on his left hand daily into the 1940s when he finally replaced it with another to symbolize his wedding bond with his wife Lillian. And he attributed his life and business success as a direct result of his involvement with Demole. And Dad, Frank S. Land, valued Walt's contributions to Demole and gave him the Founder's Cross as a personal token of their mutual loyalty and respect. So he got the Legion of Honor and the Founder's Cross, whatever the fuck that means for that. So, but I mean, obviously he was held in high regard by that association. So, despite Walt Disney's tenure and respect for Demole International, there is no evidence. There could be, maybe I didn't dig deep enough, but I tried a lot of stuff. I looked through a lot of stuff, read a lot of shit, and couldn't find anything for Disney being a part of any Masonic lodge or becoming a Freemason. So, speculators can be forgiven for assuming he had continued into the craft. However, one notable example supports the connection between Freemasonry and Disney can be found hiding in Disney World's Magic Kingdom. So apparently, I don't know if it's still there, but at one point in the early 2000s in Disney's Magic Kingdom, you can find a prop crate bearing the inscription H. Abiff's Working Tools, which, as any Master Mason knows, is a clear reference to Hiram Abiff, the foundational character of the Third Degree. Hiram Abiff was supposed to be the lead architect of Solomon's Temple, and he was murdered by...
They're just like... Are they just getting people to worship, like, I guess, yeah, I'll just say it, somebody other than Jesus? Like, they're always trying to have some idol or something before that, right?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the whole gist of you know, the antithesis of following Christ is follow anything but Christ.
Right.
False idols.
Yeah. And eventually
Yes.
they're going to get us to want to bow down to the Antichrist. That's what this is all working up to, everything.
If you believe that version of Revelation.
Yeah. Well, either way, there's something happening. They want us to do something.
Yeah. Fucking wild, man.
But one thing through researching and finding out if Walt Disney was a Freemason, I found out that his older brother Raymond was quite an active member in the Masonic Lodge in the Los Angeles, California, Al-Malaki Shriner Temple AAONMS, which is Ancient Arabic Order Nobles Mystic Shrine. He was active in that for many years. He bequeathed a very...
So is that...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is his brother Raymond is the AAONMS? Is that a... Yeah, it's a Masonic lodge. Forgive me, but I just did not, and I know that, like, well, clearly what I'm going to say, I'm going to sound like an idiot, but I know, like, Masons are, like, you know, worldwide, but when it comes to, like, Arabic, the Arabic order, that to me sounds a little weird. I've never heard that ever before.
Yeah. Well, my mind instantly went to Heidi Love, and when she showed me the pictures of the garments and the symbolism, and we know that there's blatant ties between the Masonic order and Mormonism, but if you recall, Kyle, I distinctly said that I was catching a very Middle Eastern vibe from their clothes and all the stuff, especially the symbolism, because there was a bunch of crescent moons and especially the outfits they were wearing.
Well, like I said,
Arabs can build. They build. I mean, it's advanced culture.
Well,
very advanced civilization has come out of there.
Solomon's Temple, that was the Middle East, right? Ancient Hebrew, ancient Israel. And so that's where the Freemasonic stories are all originate. It's all from the Arab world. Okay. Mesopotamia, essentially, right? And Shriners, Shriners temples, just look at their symbols too. I mean, that you can see there's Arabic. They had a saber and like their coins and stuff, and then that weird hat that Abu was wearing and Aladdin. All the Shriners have that shit. But yeah, so his brother was a big part in that organization, the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children in Los Angeles and the Shriners Children's Burn Hospital in Galveston, Texas. And on Raymond's crypt inscription at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, which is also where Disney, his ashes are at, right?
Interesting.
But on his tomb, it has an inscription on it that includes the official Shriner Temple AAONMS emblem. And you can Google that too and find some photos of it. But Walt's other older brother, Roy Oliver, was briefly, so the guy that started Walt Disney Brothers Company, Roy, this is his other brother, was, quote, briefly a Freemason, but saw it more as a fraternal organization and removed all affiliation before his son married a young Catholic woman. That's the official story. Which I was like, that's weird. And the Shriners, I mean, I don't know, man. There's a bunch of weird stuff going on with those guys too. And yeah, they're connected to hospitals. I don't know.
That's wild. One thing, kind of a little bit off topic, but I believe there's a Shriners. It's either Shriners or St. Jude, which I'm sure they're somehow tied in. And with, there's a hospital in Oregon. And I seen these pamphlets that are being handed out. You know, when you go to the doctors and you're sitting in the lobby in the waiting area, and they have books and magazines, and they have the toy. At least this is at least how it goes for me here in California. There's toys on the tables for kids and whatnot. But one of the pamphlets that they had up at this Oregon hospital, again, I do believe it was a children's hospital. I don't remember if it was St. Jude or Shriners, but it was to teach little boys how to tuck.
What?
Like step by step.
Like freaking Ace Ventura style?
Yeah, but I mean, it was like in detail, and there's more than one ways to tuck, I found out.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Going all Wild Bill.
It's it's fucking gross. And the least gross way, the least in my fucking head, is using duct tape. Okay, the other ways are fucking disgusting. But that is all tied to like St. Jude. Yeah, it's fucking gross. And
that's the least amount. That's the least messed up ways with taping it.
The scrotum skin is awful thin. I don't know that I would want to do that.
What are you shoving it up your own ass or what?
yeah, no, but
let me suck
damn
back
near
out of this conversation.
Yeah.
Let me take a couple of steps
just never
back.
mind.
Hey, Kyle, you said that you don't necessarily know the difference. I can speak on the on Shriners for a little bit.
Yeah, you do
I had
that.
a
I'll
good
be right
friend
back.
of mine. Well, I kind of need you for a hot second to validate what I'm about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Go anywhere, TeePee.
All right,
All right.
go ahead.
So, in Freemasonry, isn't there a chant along with hand signals that you can make? And I think it's, "Oh Lord my God, oh Lord my God, is there no rest for the I can't remember, but it's basically an SOS within the Freemasons.
And supposedly Joseph
And-
Smith was doing that before he got fucking pumped full of lead from the Mormons.
okay.
I thought he got thrown down the well.
I knew this man, knew him really well, and his daughter she was having a medical emergency and no hospitals would take them in. And he was talking to a doctor at a Shriners hospital and like over the phone hit that chant and stuff. And the doctor was just like, bring her in.
Yeah.
Like the doctor wasn't wasn't going to take her and stuff until my buddy hit the SOS call. And the dude realized that he was a fellow Mason
of the
and
brethren.
was like he was bound. He was like dutifully bound to
Yes.
help at no matter what expense personally. Like, yeah. So,
And that's the problem that I have.
I do know that
because
the Shiners have a connection.
Do not take oaths.
Go ahead, TP.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's the problem I have with the whole thing is that like, if a dude can, if you remember you're in Freemasonry, a third degree or whatever, or above, and another third degree or above comes and he's like, "Hey man, my wife just caught me raping our daughter, and so I had to kill them both, and I need help getting out of the country. I need your help." I was supposed to be bound by the oath of the Brotherhood to help this fucking scumbag out, and I'm not down with that.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, and if you don't help them, it's like you basically you have offended to the highest degree.
Yeah, you get blackballed and kicked out and all this other fun shit.
Pretty just shy of telling the secrets where they gut you and stick your entrails on a pike and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Hang you with your own entrails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut your tongue out. Yeah.
I know you got to step away for a second, TB, but something kind of interesting. So my stepmom, rest in peace, she was having like a lot of issues. This kind of goes back to what Hank was saying, but she was having issues like with her legs, and she just wasn't feeling right. She kept going to the doctor. Nothing was happening. They weren't like properly diagnosing her. Well,
that's weird.
This is up in Northern California, right? Up in Northern California, there's a lot of. I was living up in wine country, Sonoma County. And one of the things my stepmom did was she was a pet sitter. So she would go and she also worked for a vet. So she knew how to administer insulin, whatever type of meds these animals may or may not need. And so it just so happened that she was friends with a Rockefeller.
In Sonoma County.
In Sonoma County, California, a Rockefeller.
Wow. Okay?
And
one of the places they would go, right?
Right. Well, I didn't even tell you guys this, and I don't have a lot of info on this, but I would be happy to gather. My stepmom is passed, but my dad I can ask. They used to work events at Bohemian Grove.
No kidding. Whoa.
Yes, swear to God.
That's what's up there. That's what's out there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Redwoods. It's the Redwoods. I used to live 30 minutes from Bohemian Grove. 30 minutes away.
You can see the place
up
and
until
everything?
a couple years ago. I've driven past it. I have a friend
like
that
the private property where it is and whatnot. Like, yeah, you can't go there.
I know I know around the area, but I know that my dad worked there, and now my stepmom worked there. I also have another friend a little bit younger than me. Funny enough, I'm 33 right now, but she's a couple years younger than me. She actually left the winery I worked at and to go do a seasonal job at Bohemian Grove. So if you, one of the things about Bohemian Grove, there's no women allowed. So when I say my stepmom worked there, this was an event that it wasn't the event that she was working at. They do other things at Bohemian Grove other than the
cremation of care,
what have you.
Cremation of care ceremony.
Yes. So again, so she knew one of the Rockefellers. Finally, she ended up going in to have. She kept going in for appointments, and she was eventually diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. Right. So after she was diagnosed, she ended up mentioning it to one of the Rockefellers that she would watch their house for them. Well, it just so happened that one of the Rockefellers owned the Kaiser Hospital, or was a partial owner in the hospital. And even though her surgery was supposed to be like 6 months out, she literally had surgery the fucking next day.
Wow.
Because she knew one of the Rockefellers who owned or was in partnership. So that kind of goes back to what Hank was talking about with the Shriners and saying that. Yeah, dude.
That's awesome, dude. That's an awesome point to bring up.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. And it goes back to something that I've said, and I'll say again, and I will continue saying, life is all about who you know.
Unfortunately.
It really is. It's fucking, I don't agree necessarily with it, but life's all about who you know, man. You know the right people, they'll pull the strings, they'll make it happen, huh?
Yep.
Well, wouldn't we hope that if we had billions and billions of dollars, that is something that we would do all of the time?
Yeah, but
make people's lives better in that way.
Yep. It's
we're
fucked
used
up
to hearing so much bad about the Rockefellers.
And real quick caveat, as y'all were talking earlier, I was doing a little digging into what's the Donald Duck's uncle, Ebony
Scrooge
McDuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was thinking, right? I was thinking Simpsons. I was thinking Mr. Burns. I was thinking Rockefellers. So I looked into Scrooge McDuck. So Scrooge McDuck's, was it his fucking, I have it right here, either his dad or his uncle, or it was his rival, was actually, it's John D. Duckefeller is one of the characters. Anyhow, I found that kind of interesting as we're talking about Rockefeller.
It's interesting.
It all ties in.
Yeah, it does. Especially, that's a whole other episode, dude.
Check. The old Latrobe 33. Dude, it's popping up, bro. What's going on tonight? What I would really like right now is some Leinenkugels. I don't know if you guys got Leinenkugel out there.
We do have Leinenkugels an hour south of Wisconsin.
It's from Wisconsin, I believe. Yep. Leinenkugel.
It is. It's a good brewery.
It is.
I like some of their shit.
Anyhow.
It's actually a Miller product now, I believe. Yeah, I think they're owned by Miller.
As long as it's not Miller Lite.
True. Fuck Miller Lite.
Yeah.
That would be the same. That would be the same Miller.
It would.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, did we want to move on with Club 33?
Yeah, E-Rock actually went to the brewery one day with another buddy of ours.
Club 33s?
No. Leinenkugel.
Oh, way to just fucking...
Leinenkugel.
Yeah, okay.
But I hadn't drank for like 3 months, and I got smashed with them the night before, so it didn't happen. But we'll have to ask E-Rock about his Leinenkugels tour. So we're moving on to Club of 33?
The Club 33.
The Club 33.
Not what's that other one? The major one.
Rome?
The Club of Rome.
No.
Yeah. It's Club 33.
Club of 300.
Yeah, the Club of 300 or 300 committee. Nope,
Yeah,
this is just Club 33. All right. It's allegedly not as nefarious as everybody thinks it is. So it's an exclusive members-only club located at Disney theme parks around the world, with the most famous location being Disneyland. And Club 33 has 6 different locations at Disney theme parks. And it's a private dining club Disney decided that the first opening was in 1967, which Disney died in, what do you say, 66, right? From his lung cancer.
Something like that,
Yeah, 66, December 15th, 1966. So it opened up in Disneyland Park in like the fucking New Orleans area or whatever. And it was modeled after numerous executive VIP lounges created by pavilion sponsors in the 1964 New York World's Fair. So Disney went there, saw they had, so there's all the attractions for normal people, right? And then they also had like VIP lounges where businessmen were going up and networking, conducting business. They could have drinks up there. So Disney, once again, to like stick to his persona, you cannot, prior to the first Club 33 opening, you could not purchase alcohol on Disneyland, right? You couldn't. There was a park that Disney owned like outside of Disneyland where you could have drinks and shit, but there was none allowed inside the park because
it's ungodly.
Well, people get drunk and fight each other and shit.
Like a damn fool.
Now they just do that sober. There's plenty of Disneyland. Yeah, the happiest places on earth. People beating their fucking wives and shit. It's fucked up.
Not what I thought you was gonna go with that. But
oh, sorry. But anyway,
not disappointed either.
It's messed up. Makes you angry. Anyway, so if you want to be a part of this Disneyland Resort Club 33, it's an initial upfront $25,000 cost. And then to stay in the club, it's $10,000 every year after that. That way they keep
chump change these days.
Well, for some people, but this is so they keep the common folk out. This is so the peasants can't get anywhere near this thing, right?
Yeah.
For folks like Mortimer.
Yeah, Mortimer Mouse, piece of shit. So as of March 2023, the Disneyland Club 33 wait list is rumored to be around 5 to 10 years long. So a bunch of people are
my God.
gnawing at the bit to get on board here. And
I bet there's some perks that we're not privy to. But
yeah,
there's some perks we don't know about.
There is. You can go look it up. There's a bunch of perks in there.
You get the Frazzle Drip stand.
Well,
get the access to the tunnels and shit.
Yeah, or and access to the VIP suite above the VIP club.
Well, Walt Disney actually had his own suite at each place, right?
Yes, and this was one of them.
Originally, just for him.
Yeah, this is one of them that they have into an attraction where
for
Club 33
a few people.
Yeah, for a select few individuals, Club 33 members can join and go have a magical night in the royal suite.
Yeah, I bet it's magical.
Yeah. Well, the location is like right across the street from the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction that was built in 1967.
I thought it was on Main Street.
No, it's on Royal Street, New Orleans Square in Disneyland.
Over there. You guys know where that's at?
Say that again.
It's over by Pirates of the Caribbean. TeePee said.
Yeah, you can go look this up.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about Magic Mountain?
No, his
Club 33.
Disney.
Oh,
yeah,
yes. I've heard that. I don't go to. Yeah, even if I could afford Disney, I don't go to. Yeah, I'm anti.
No shit.
You don't go to World at least, right?
True. I love my kids, dude. I'm not trying to have my kids fucking sneaked away from me, and I really am not. I could throw my kid on a leash. I have something. It's a little weird for me to do that, but if I did go to Disney, I would put my fucking kids on leashes for sure.
Yeah, with the monkey on their back.
With the monkey on the back, and I'll also stitch in like an Apple fucking air tag into their fucking
their flesh.
So
no, dude. And let me just RFID my kids for the government and myself. No, that's
it. If in 10 years, if you don't, you ain't gonna eat.
No,
unless you grow it.
Yeah, and kill it yourself. So, did you guys know that the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride had actual real human skeletons throughout the ride? I
noticed that in your notes, and that is wild.
Yeah, they were like cadaver bodies that they got from the universities, where the university's like, oh, we got some new ones, and
University
Disney's
of
like,
Michigan or something was just like, hey, yeah, we'll sell you one for
Disney's like, we got to make it as immersive as possible. This is like, it was a state-of-the-art animatronics, right? And then they needed some real-life skeletons, apparently.
You think they would like hit up the Smithsonian's or something like that for something like that? But yeah, that's a good
probably
point.
who told them to go to the universities. They're like, hey,
right. All we have is giant.
We're going to give you a
bones.
lead. There was this guy H.H. Holmes at Michigan one time. He did some shit in Chicago.
Yeah,
here's the guy's
lot of
name.
shit in Chicago. yeah.
It was around a World's Fair.
Yeah, he murdered like over 100 people, I think. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about 100, but it was in a trap house and all that wild shit.
Yeah, that's a whole other...
The shit that made Saw the movie, right?
Something like that, yeah. But that's a whole other episode again. But, yeah, so there's a royal suite right above the Club 33, and it's Disney's Dream Suite, which is nowadays called 21 Royale. Inside, there was recently a Victorian exotic master suite with 4-poster bed.
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's 4-post bed.
So I looked at, there's some video and some stuff, photos and stuff, and it looks pretty amazing. It's a massive freaking like studio apartment. They got like 4 rooms in there.
It's probably like a 10,000 spot to think about it too.
Probably costs like $120,000 to stay a night there. It's probably ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But the Club 33, the original door, when you look at the first thing I saw, that it was a blue door that you go in. It has 33 in gold, and then it had 2 pillars on either side of the door, which to me those are Freemason symbols. That's Boaz and Jenkins. The pillars.
Blue is obviously a very, very special color as well. In fact, it's a holy color. There's a reason that the Israeli flag has blue.
Oh, and the Freemasons are, that's their color too, right? Their color of choice is blue.
Yeah. That's what. Didn't the Father tell Moses to use blue in the tabernacle and whatnot?
I don't recall.
Hank?
Oh, Hank me.
Anyway.
Theo is correct. Numbers 4:6, New King James Version. Then they shall put on it a covering of badger skins, and spread over that a cloth entirely of blue, and they shall insert its poles.
So anyway, yeah, Club 33, supposedly there's multiple sources on this. Nobody can really tell us what the exact reasoning behind Club 33's name is. But some say it's because that was the address, 33 Royal Street in New Orleans Square on Disneyland, so they just called it Club 33. There are some that contend that the name came from the original members of the club, which were the first 33 members when Disneyland first began, when they decided to come up with this concept. And another one I heard is that if you rotate the 33s, it makes an MM, right? Mickey Mouse.
Oh.
And then...
Makes a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. Mortimer Mouse. And then another theory suggests that the club was named 33 because of the original 33 sponsors of Disneyland. So...
Or it might just be Masonic.
Yeah, 33 degrees. I don't know.
And see, this is where you're missing Becoming Clutch with his numberology that he does.
I know, right? Yeah, he's pretty awesome on that stuff, dude.
The time difference is a little bit to work with, though.
He's a time traveler.
He is. So here's some other stuff that I actually got this off of Disney's website. They brag about it. So some notable members of Club 33, John Stamos. Shocker.
Hey. Full House.
Yeah. That guy doesn't look like he's aged in like fucking 40 years.
Dude, hey. That's funny.
Holly Madison.
Who's Holly Madison?
Oh, is she from fucking Playboy Mansion?
Dude, tell me why.
Oh, she is. No, she is.
My first thought went to a Playboy bunny, but I didn't want to go there.
Because she is.
Well, hey.
And if you look her up recently, she just confirmed apparently that she's autistic. So that's really weird. Hugh Hefner was taking advantage of an autistic woman. The fuck?
There you go, Hef.
I'm sure he was taking advantage of way worse things than that.
With the syndrome.
Yeah, as long as they were fine, I'm sure that he did whatever he could do.
Yeah. Are you on the spectrum? I have some toys to show you in my room. Come on. But she also was like an American TV personality because they were on that show together, weren't they? Didn't she do a show with Hugh Hefner? What was that one?
Well, there was the whole Mansion show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Girls Next Door. That's what it was.
I can't remember what it was called.
Girls Next Door. There we go.
Yeah, The Girls Next Door. I just looked it up. Yeah. So
thinking the name wasn't what I remembered from that show.
But our good buddy Tom Hanks, of course, he's a Club 33 member. He played Walt Disney. Why would he not be a club member? I mean, he was an Epstein Island club member too. So why would he not be Club 33?
We're the lunatics! Us! It's not them!
Oh, Tom Hanks is also the telling the trans 10-year-old boy in dressing in drag, "You're sexy." That's also Tom Hanks, right? Yeah, we saw that. Unless it was AI. It could be AI. We do not know at this point.
Anything could be AI.
I wouldn't put my fucking chips in that basket. That motherfucker's a fucking nasty piece of shit.
Yeah.
In my super humble opinion.
Well, the look on his face when Ricky Jarvis was ripping on Epstein was more than enough evidence for me, dude. That guy is, yeah.
You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You like to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right.
Well, I can't believe you're talking about my friend like that. Such distasteful.
Well, dude, Ricky Jarvis, when Ricky Jarvis made that announcement,
Gervais.
I mean, he did. Gervais. He said a lot. He said a lot of other shit. There was, I mean, you just see the crowd, dude. People were unhappy. Like, I wouldn't doubt it. That dude's dead, and he's on like clone number 3 by now.
There were genuine looks of shock and appall.
Yes,
throughout that crowd, there were people that were genuinely like, "Oh my god!"
Do you guys remember Harrison Ford, also known as Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones
and Han
when
Solo.
He announced Ronan Farrow as the, I don't know, director of the year or some shit. And he was all, like, you can actually tell he wasn't very happy about it. But then all, like, Meryl Streep and all these Hollywood socialites and people, they're all excited about it. This is the guy that in the 70s was found with Ronan Farrow. Not Ronan Farrow. The fuck was that guy's name?
I don't know.
That director. Anyway, he was in a hot tub with a 13-year-old girl. And then he like fled to France. Yes.
Yeah. Was that Woody Allen?
What was his name?
It was just like,
no, not Woody Allen.
I
said the wrong name. So we're gonna have to
way to fucking go, Theo. I'm gonna punch you in the dick.
Yeah, I know it. I know.
Jarvis has your back.
Yeah. Jeeves,
Jarvis, Jenkins, whatever.
Yeah, that's all the same.
Potato.
He doesn't care. He's just a servant.
I'm sure he does care. I'm sorry, Jeeves.
No, he's a servant. He's been called where he wears things.
No, you're gonna let me apologize to this AI. That way, whenever he goes fucking postal, I'm not one of the ones on the naughty list.
He'll find
He's
you.
elegant as hell.
Yeah, he's a gentleman.
Roman Polanski. And thank you, Hank. You shall be spared when Skynet goes online.
Anyways, back to this list. Club 33. Katy Perry's on that list. Tiger Woods. Robin and Brooke Lopez, the Lopez sisters, or are they wife? Are they married? I don't even know who that is.
I thought Robin Lopez was a basketball player.
I don't know. Just don't misgender whatever you.
Yeah, I don't want to misgenderize them.
I'm not sure.
if it's a dude, two dudes, are they brothers? Robin and Brooke. Brooke Lopez is a man.
Okay.
American professional basketball player for the Milwaukee Bucks. Nicknamed the Splash Mountain. Weird.
It's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wayne's World, bro. Alice Cooper.
Okay.
Milwaukee.
Anyways,
Algonquin for.
Did you just hear what I said? That Brooke Lopez dude's nickname is Splash Mountain.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Dude, we'll call it Squirtle.
Fuck, dude.
Heidi Klum is...
Who is Seal's... That's Seal's wife. Or
Man,
was
I
Seal's
haven't
wife.
thought about that name in a long time.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated, 1998, baby. I remember that. Yeah. She was also Victoria's Secret Angel. Huh.
Dude.
Obviously, everybody's favorite NPR, everybody's favorite pussy magnet, Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh yeah.
And then Gwen Stefani. Interesting.
Don't you remember that we saw the picture of her and which I do not even wish to say, TP.
Her and who?
Cake. You know how the body.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
That,
with the body
shit was
cake.
bananas.
Yep.
I don't care to say the name.
The ambassador to Ukraine.
Oh, right. Marina
Abramovich.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, her and Gwen Stefani are buddies. So, and her, Katy Perry and Lady Gaga.
Yep.
So, yeah. And they're all, so it's weird. But not too weird because you guys have heard of MK, or not MK Ultra, but Project Mockingbird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know how, the CIA infiltrated the media and stuff. Well, would it be too far-fetched if they had infiltrated Hollywood? I mean, we've all heard the rumors of fucking Frank Sinatra was a double agent for the CIA, right? He was...
And the mob, yeah.
And the mob, yeah. He was feeding information to the CIA and the mafia.
He's friends with both.
Marilyn Monroe, same thing. That's probably why she ended up getting murdered. So would it be too far-fetched if another big name from around that time happened to be working with the FBI or the CIA?
No.
No.
Not at all. In fact, that would be perfectly in line with the history.
That would just make sense at this point. So there has been
100%.
discovered a December 16th, 1954 memo from Los Angeles Special Agent in Charge John F. Malone, who wrote to the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Holy shit, sorry, I'm like 2 whiskey deep and 3 beers deep right now. Sorry, boys, just bear with me.
Attaboy.
It's Friday.
Attaboy.
It's Friday. All right. Starting a new year. So, J. Edgar Hoover was the fucking director of the FBI at the time, and he recommended this. John Malone recommended that Walt Disney be approved as a special agent in charge contact, SAC, as they like to call him. I want Walt Disney to be a SAC. And then this guy, supposedly, so from when I learned about this, apparently this was more of a ceremonial honorary designation rather than asking the individual to spy or actively gather information, which I'm sure they just said all the time, right? Oh, this is just because everybody wants to be an FBI agent that's famous, right? Duh.
Well, it was huge. It was huge at the time. From Mockingbird, we've learned CIA, FBI.
Yeah,
those agencies were
being a G-man,
heavily recruiting on college campuses. So at the same, the summer of love is what we hear about.
Yeah,
but what we don't hear about is massive recruiting efforts by those agencies on those campuses.
Like maybe was that when they recruited Charles Manson?
Sure,
Morrison.
He was only at the houses on college campuses.
Jim Morrison was recruited way before then, dude. His daddy was fucking naval intelligence,
Admiral
bro.
of the Navy.
Yeah, his daddy was the one that fucking wrote up that fake fucking paper about the Tonkin incident. the Gulf of Tonkin.
Gulf of Tonkin. Yep.
That sent all these fucking boomers to their death before they could.
You sure about that?
Huh?
Was he on that paper?
Who?
Well, it would have been Morrison, Admiral Morrison.
Yes, he was the one that fucking wrote that up and sent it up to his superiors.
Fucking wild.
You didn't know that?
Fucking wild. I heard about it.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to slap you. Slap some sense into you with the truth.
You can't because we're not together tonight.
We're not hanging out tonight. No, we are in separate locations. Yeah. It happens. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to threaten physical violence against you. That's very far right wing of me.
That's how we deal with each other.
You MAGA extremists.
MAGA extreme. Because, yeah.
Definitely not that.
But anyways, so the FBI field offices kept a list of these SAC contractors or contracts so that agents needing information or advice about a particular industry or area of expertise would have a competent, friendly, and reliable source to go to for it rather than starting from scratch. Would make sense back then. You didn't have the internet. Information was hard to come by. And then, yeah, if you had somebody that was a subject matter expert in a field.
I bet Walt Disney has a good idea.
His great idea. He has great ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't Google it.
Walt's status as a SAC contact was not unique in Hollywood. Many others were granted the same status. The memo states that, quote, no derogatory information concerning this individual appears in the files of this office because of Mr. Disney's position as the foremost producer of cartoon films and his prominence and wide acquaintanceship in film production matters. It is believed that he can be of valuable assistance to this office, unquote.
Just think about that for a second. He's valuable for who he is.
Yes.
They don't necessarily go into not that he's untouchable, but it kind of seems like it.
Well, he's valuable for the information that he can assist the FBI with.
Yeah, they're not investigating him.
Right.
They're just using him for information.
He's an asset.
Yeah, an asset. Yeah. So, however, the relationship quickly soured when Walt Disney produced a laudatory 4 segments on the FBI for the original Mickey Mouse Club television show, January 24th through the 29th in 1958, but did not provide a final copy of that show before broadcasting it until the last minute, resulting in the Bureau deciding that there would be no further cooperation in future projects. So the Bureau, just like in Project Mockingbird, if you're going to do any pieces on us, we need to screen it beforehand to make sure that you don't make the agency look fucking stupid. Yeah.
Wow.
Like putting LSD and bug repellent canisters and spraying parks with them.
Never.
They would never do stupid shit like that.
Never.
Apparently that pissed them off. And then in addition, Walt produced 2 feature-length live-action comedies, Moon Pilot in 1962 and That Darn Cat in 1965, that featured FBI agents as comic foils, which further angered the Bureau. And in fact, documents relating to these 3 productions make up the bulk of what Walt's FBI files are and do not show any precise information Walt may have been asked to give to the FBI. And he was officially deleted as a SAC contact on December 20th, 1966, after the FBI confirmed his death and internment. So, I don't know. I mean, I would put that shit down too if he gave us a bunch of valuable information on stuff. But really, I don't know.
We didn't know him.
Yeah, we do know, though, he was hiring... He had to have been hiring occultists. Like, people knew these secret symbols and stuff and everything. He had to have been taught these symbols and what they mean and stuff in Del Moy. Yeah. Because, like Kyle brought up earlier, there's stuff, they're all over his earlier films, dude. A ton of this stuff is. At his parks.
So,
go ahead.
This is all speculation, okay? on my part, Theo. This is also, I want to say that Crowley died in the 40s, but it could speculatively be sort of taking on his craft. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I heard there was a connection, but we don't know.
Well, there's the rocket. So the rocket stuff. Crowley died December 1st, 1947. But the rocket connection was at Jack Parsons, right? He's the rocket engineer that was also a huge occultist.
Oh, the one that dressed like that, formed his eyebrows and whatnot to look like horns, and was a naval officer. There was one of those.
The Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Okay, well, I'm actually thinking about a naval officer that was huge in intelligence. So we're thinking about two different people, but the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Are you not thinking of? Is it Anton LaVey?
No. This guy was a naval officer.
Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of Ron Hubbard.
No,
Scientology.
No.
Was he an officer in the Navy?
No.
Yeah. Yes, he was. What? That's why Ron Hubbard. Yeah, he fucking was. That's why he modeled his whole fucking stupid higher ranking bullshit in Scientology over based off the Navy shit. That's why,
military ranks.
Yeah,
I'm searching for it. The only thing I can get is the bullshit about the beheading in the Iowa State Capitol of the Baphomet statue.
Well, then you're looking for some weird shit. Statue. Jack Parsons was he was a rocket engineer and chemist and Thelmite occultist. Him and Ron Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard, were fucking buddies. They followed Aleister Crowley and shit. They supposedly, L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons did this big ceremony out in the desert where the Manhattan Project was done and shit, and I don't know, all this weird stuff. But yeah, how did I get on Jack Parsons?
Weird. Well, because of he was a naval officer.
No, he wasn't. God damn it! Pay attention.
Okay, well. Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard was in the Navy. Jack Parsons was not.
Okay. Regardless.
All right, sorry.
Dude,
I don't even know how we got down that fucking rabbit hole, dude.
Well, that was me.
Oh. Anyways.
Theo takes the blame.
All right, well, at least, yeah, he's man enough to do that. So.
That's it.
All right, and that's what I have on my notes. Do you guys have... Kyle, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? I know you took a bunch of notes, you said.
Yeah, no, I honestly on that behalf, I think you guys pretty much covered it. Yeah, no, you guys killed it, man. You guys, the notes that you took, TeePee, you great job.
Excellent job, TeePee.
Thanks.
Yeah, seriously, dude, on the real.
I appreciate it. I just copy and pasted a bunch of shit from reading and stuff and tried to organize it.
Hey, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. Well, this was interesting. This is an interesting episode, and it opened up a lot of different things, because when we were talking about the Arabic Masonic whatever, and then you had mentioned the Temple of Solomon. Like, there's some things that there's a lot of things I have not delved into yet, and that's one of them.
Okay.
Was the temple. So that's awesome. I have a lot of research now to go back and do, but I have some ideas for some potential future episodes with this that I would love. I have them written down, and I'll shoot you guys those offline.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
That would be fucking awesome.
I think the beautiful thing is us just covering some general basics tonight. There's really no shortage of ways we can keep dissecting the Disney iceberg.
Oh, yeah. Well, and going forward, yeah, like, dude, we can go down the MK Ultra path, like I said, with that Mickey Mouse Club, with all those kids, especially when we were growing up, the boy band era.
That's something that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, that's like
I wanted to bring that up.
That's a whole nother episode, dude, because there's so much, like, satanic ritual abuse shit, similarities.
Can I just read off a couple names?
Yeah.
These are, I believe they were Mouse Club members, but they were involved with Disney, right?
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, the Jonas Brothers, Lindsay Lohan. Those are just a few. They were all hypersexualized.
Absolutely.
As children. Now, we're at that age now where we can look back. In Sync, TeePee, we were in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hypersexualized young men.
Oh, yeah. Every girl in our class had a fucking NSYNC or Backstreet Boy poster where they're like on their wall and shit. And yeah, they're all like, girls are talking about which Backstreet Boy they would suck their dick and shit. And we're like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah.
While we were talking about which Spice Girl we would impregnate. You know what I'm saying? No.
Right. Disney did that, though. Disney hypersexualized things before the generation that I just named. Our generation, if you will. Well, particularly TeePee and I's. Boners and the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's a whole other episode. That's what I wanted to get into on the future with this Disney stuff is like the subliminal message stuff. Maybe we can even reach out to Drew Misson and see if we can't get him to come in on board and give him a few video, like movies or something. Like, hey, look into these.
We need to reach out to that guy more often. I'm sure. I worry about it because he's busy. I know he's busy.
He's got like 15 podcasts too.
He just amplifies everything though.
I will say so we do, and also with this being said, Hank and I would love to have you guys on, but every Friday, usually we do like just a round table, no topic, no nothing. But last
I did it with
week,
you guys one time. Remember that?
The dugout sessions.
Oh, no, I wasn't on that dugout, I don't think.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I was?
My first recording with you guys.
I was there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, you were there, man.
3-hour session, brother.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, I definitely probably was there for that. Fuck, dude, I was probably...
You came in later, I thought, though, Kyle. I think it started off with...
Oh, the whole time. It's all good. It's all good.
Yes. Okay. But last Friday, we had like a cancellation, and I don't know what... I randomly hit up Drew like 30 minutes before, and he goes, yeah, dude, I'll be there. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Thanks for coming.
Oh, my goodness. What time was it for him?
Dude, I know, I'm pretty sure he was sipping coffee, but it was, Hank would probably know better.
That's badass.
For us, it was 5:30. For us, it was 5:30 when we rolled out.
Oh, yeah. So he's like early morning the next day, right?
Oh, he probably had the day off and shit. He's like, whatever.
Hank always, that's why Hank's like, we got my favorite time traveler on today. And yeah, that was Steve Drew Misson. But yeah, I concur to what you guys were saying.
Yeah, no, that was a good show. That was your dugout session 4, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but we can expand a lot on this and stuff, dude, because there's so much. And then, like I said, even going into what Disney's been doing, like in the last 10 years they've been ruining their fucking brand. I mean, they've been driving it down into the toilet. You know what I mean? They used to be recognized
crazy shit.
As, like I said, in the beginning of the episode, we were talking about, they used to be recognized as this was, without a doubt, family friendly. We can set our kids here. We don't have to worry about any political agenda bullshit. The kids can just enjoy a movie or a TV show. Parents don't have to worry about it. Now they kind of do. And Disney had that big fight with DeSantis, right? They've been having dick measuring contests for the last, I don't know, what, year or so? 2 years, maybe? However long it's been going. But did Hank drop out?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I just hadn't heard you say anything. But yeah, there's a lot we can do off of this. So, like I said, when I put this together, I kind of just wanted this to be like a baseline. Like, this is who Walt Disney was. This is kind of the stuff going on in the background. And as Theo pointed out, and you guys, I'm sure, learned through your research, there's been a lot of shit being scrubbed from the internet, and it's really hard to find any really, I guess, negative publicity on Walt Disney. Like, it's the company still trying to protect him like he's some type of George Washington.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not going to get it on your first search. There's no way.
Can I be honest? Like so a lot of the different topics and ideas that I found out about, I actually went back and listened to. I know Matt from The Great Deception. He did a show on Disney. So
Nice.
I kind of went through that, and then I went from there and was able to dial in my research and my questions. I was able to dial it in a little bit more specifically.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I was blown away. So shout out. And you know what, that right there, for anyone listening, that just, people in the line of, I wouldn't even say business, but the line of work that we like to do on the side, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time from our families. And at the end of the day, like, you're better off if you have a question, on something going on, something political, something whatever. Like, obviously, don't fucking turn on your television for that. Don't look at the news. It's your fellow, kind of independent journalist, I guess, in a sense. Like, our stuff is archived. That's why I write shit down. I don't always write shit down because I'm like half retarded and I don't remember a lot of shit. But I have it right here. This is physical. Yeah. It's not on like a USB stick that can be wiped. What I have is right
here. It's unique to you,
here.
bro. It's unique to you.
Exactly.
I don't have it. TeePee doesn't have it. Hank doesn't have it. It's you. And that's
vice versa.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to be sending you guys, if you guys are okay with receiving this email, there's nothing like, things are blurred out, but I have like a 600-page document on Pizzagate.
Oh, yeah.
It's got everything. Hank and I are actually going to do a part 6. So my original co-host, Bo Diggles from the Anti-Slave, he has some shit going on, and so he had to step away. So that's kind of how Hank and I got tangled up, but anyhow. I'll send it to you guys. I'll send it to you guys. And it's got everything, every single fucking tweet that was ever done about this shit. I got it all, and I would be happy to share it with you guys, and you guys do your own interpretation of it. But it's getting this type of information, and again, it to the listeners, man, I'm sure there's a lot that do appreciate the hard work that TeePee, Theo, E-Rock, that goes into these shows. It's a lot of work, man, and it's time away from the family. And so I hope that shit like this is appreciated, which I'm sure it is, because if you're listening, you appreciate the craft. But yeah, anyhow, thank you guys again, man. Thank you guys for inviting myself and Hank on, and I had a blast. And it sounds like we have a couple more. We have a couple more episodes in our future.
Yeah, absolutely.
To bang out.
Well, no, yeah, thanks for that compliment, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you're right. It is it's a lot of work, but you know what? We're doing it because it's really, today in the information age, you think it'd be easy to find good, solid info, but it's really hard. Surprisingly.
This information does not do us any good just holding on to it, right?
Yep.
Right.
That's why I'm like, if I got information, dude, like, I could, Hank and I could get this email and do our own shit, and like, we'll be the coolest guys on the block or on the podcast doing this cool Pizzagate episode. But you guys don't know. Fuck that, dude, because we do episodes. You guys have done episodes on shit you've heard from other podcasts, but you put your own spin into it, and that's what makes it special and important. And a lot of the times, you find shit that so-and-so didn't find, or vice versa. So it's a beautiful community we're in. And with that being said, give the Iowa Talk guys the 5 stars, leave the reviews, do all the fun shit. Cause it does help out with the algorithms and whatnot. And, yeah, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We appreciate it. Well, you better give Sunday Night Secret Society podcast 5-star review, and same with 643 Conspiracy. Yeah.
Thanks, Chef Kyle.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. I give credit where credit is due, and you gents are. I had a blast tonight, dude. Like I sometimes have to mute my mic because I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm laughing. Yeah, it's just you can't beat this, dude. This is like my therapy, so I feel like I gotta like give my therapist, which would be at this point Hank, TeePee, and Theo. I feel like I owe you guys a couple bucks, but
it's awful me having friends in places that you don't expect to. You know what I mean? Like Southern California for us, TeePee. Sorry, I feel like I can speak for you right now.
No, you
that
can't.
That shit's fucking wild. It's weird.
I still
right?
I still have friends in SoCal, dude, from the Marine Corps. So
well, I know that you do, but it's still,
and we got
not
Kyle.
buying a house there.
We got Kyle out there.
You're not buying a house there.
We got Shibuya. He's out there.
Yeah, dude. So let me real quick. Crazy as shit, dude. You're talking about Boya, right?
Yeah,
Whiskey Beer.
Yeah, WBC. Yeah.
Okay. So I did a show with them not too long ago, and Big Country's family and where he grew up. We were next door neighbors. Like literally, like
what?
So not actual, but like a block away. So his family, where he grew up, was 2 streets up from where I grew up, which is where I'm at now. Is about a 5-minute drive.
Wow.
And he went to. Yeah, he went to one high school. I went to the neighboring high school, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking crazy. And then
he's out here in the Midwest.
Yep. He moved. I keep hitting him up. I'm like, dude, I was hoping he was going to be down visiting, being able to visit family for Christmas, because it's a fucking 5-minute drive. But it was just super random. I didn't know where he was from. I knew he lived in the Midwest, but I didn't know where he was from. And we're like we were next door neighbors, man. It's a small world. It's a very, very,
that
very
is
small
wild.
world.
That's so wild.
We're still a solid day's drive from him.
Yeah, but we're only like 4 or 5 hours from Hank, I think.
It's not that far. Well, it might be about 7 or 8, but it's not very far at all. It's a day's drive.
It's a shift.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of those blow your brains out. I'm tired of
down
being in this video.
61, baby.
Well, dude, hey, we're from the Midwest, so if it's less than 12 hours, that ain't that bad, right?
Right. Hey. 15 is good.
Dude, yeah, I've had some long drives before, but no, man, and I love the podcasting community. I'm so glad that we got into it, because it's great. You guys are great. It's great networking with guys and finding going on with what Kyle said. Like, dude, I get my information more from podcasts than any other source. I mean, I do read and do my own research and stuff and everything, but that's what I listen to during the day when I'm working and stuff. You know what I mean? And I'd rather listen to that because, shocker, they're a lot more credible than frickin' the crap that I would listen to on Fox or CNN or any of the other mainstream news networks.
Weird.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I ain't got to worry about
some guy from Arkansas and some guy from California can come together and offer just incredibly valuable information.
I ain't got to worry about the 3 guys from Iowa in a shack in the middle of a field taking Pfizer money and pushing shit down the road.
That's not happening here.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
No.
Fucking ink, dude.
There's no Pfizer money.
There's some Monsanto money in the field next to us, but
Yeah, we don't. Shit. We have no interest in that.
Right.
And for another talk, when I used to work at a winery, we could go. I want to go into all this at some point, but I work for Francis Ford Coppola, who is the director for The Godfather, Apocalypse
Now.
I
right.
Yeah. When my first daughter was born, Ellie, my daughter's name's Ellie, Eleanor Coppola, sent me a silver spoon with a handwritten letter for my daughter.
Holy shit.
Which is super nice. Yeah, they're pretty cool people, but at the time working there, I wasn't super awake to, I wasn't aware of all the shit that was going on. It wasn't until COVID happened, that the pandemic, that I started waking up. So do thank you, Fauci, whoever, everyone involved in that. I appreciate you, because they woke myself up, and I think a lot of other people up.
Yeah.
Excellent humility, my friend.
Yeah, it's just it's weird, dude. It's the divine. I don't know. I don't even know where the
praise God.
Yeah.
Yep. Praise God. I don't know where I was even going with that. I had something on the top of my head. Yeah. So I was in the middle of doing a tasting, for somebody, and I always, try to get to know somebody. And I was asking this guy, what do you do for work? Who do you work for? Blah blah blah. And he was an overseas defense lawyer for fucking Monsanto's, dude.
Wow.
And that was one of the hardest, the defense lawyer. That was one of the hardest tastings that I ever had to do, and put a smile on my face. But this will be for another show, but there's a tie to Francis Ford Coppola Winery and Disney.
Ooh. Juicy.
Not Walt Disney, but Disney and how they operate their parks. one of our God, I want to say he's a director now, but he actually was a director over at Disney, came over to Coppola and implemented a lot of different. I can't even name all the things he implemented, but there was the bigger picture was trying to be more like Disney in a sense where, you know, there's trash cans located every certain amount of feet to prevent the amount of littering going on. There's a lot of everything's attention to detail, man. And we should go over that because I think we would have a good time on that. I think we'd have a good time.
Yeah. Disney World and the parks, they're all meticulously designed. I think that Disney, that was his envisionary process from the beginning too. He wanted to be something like, you're never going to see a place like this ever anywhere else in the world, right?
You won't forget.
The fact of the matter is that you won't.
True. That's a solid point.
It's the Magic Kingdom, right? So
that's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. What kind of magic's going on there, though, huh?
Magic with a K.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like I said, there was a cultist. There had to have been a cultist on the payroll of Disney, or he had to have some more understanding of magic and witchcraft and stuff like that because of all the shit his films, right? I mean, it's all in there. Magic, black magic being performed, white magic, whatever you want to call it. It's all black magic to me. Really interesting stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited for the other episodes that we're going to come out with. Somebody else is taking the notes this time, though. I'm just following along. I'll do my own notes, but I'm following along with somebody else next time. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Either Hank or Kyle.
I know you guys are. No, well, hey, we're going to tag team this bitch, right, Hank?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So I know you guys are wrapping up right now. I got a jam like right now. I got to go over to my mom's house and clean out all the cat houses because she pays me to do so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw myself a sweater on because I'm freezing ass cold because it's like 50 degrees here in Southern California. So forgive me for my sensitive skin.
Well, that's cold out there, boy.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah,
cold.
I'm going to be cutting glass, man. I'm going to be cutting glass if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
but,
dude, we be
thank you guys so much.
T-shirts. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
But thank you guys, man. No, you're good, man. I'm going to sign off. You guys have a blessed night. Thank you guys again for everything. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to future collaborations with y'all. So
absolutely.
You guys have a good one. Stay fly, be kind. You know the drill.
Yeah. You too. Take care, brother. Drive safe. And,
take care, buddy.
Yeah, have fun.
Yes, sir. I'm actually walking. I do have to say this. I've been throwing back beers. My mom is my next door neighbor, so I just gotta call her when I'm at the gate.
You're next door.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we weren't gonna.
But
turn
yeah,
you
man,
in.
you guys have a blessed night.
All right, you too, brother.
Oh yeah, you were gonna turn me in.
This guy's drinking and he's gonna drive, I think.
I'm only drinking piss water, man. It's nothing super potent, I promise.
All right, yeah, you'll be fine then. All right, brother. Take care, man.
All right, guys.
Have a good one. Be good.
Yes, sir. Hasta la pasta.
Cheers, buddy.
Pasta. Yeah. I love that he says that, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome, man.
All right, so yeah, then Hank, where can our listeners find you and Kyle?
Well, we'll start with Kyle's stuff. You can find Kyle primarily on the Sunday Night Secret Society podcast. It's on all your major podcatchers, big Instagram page. I'm his co-host on there. And then you can find him as my co-host on the 643 Conspiracy podcast. You can find me everywhere you can find him, and come hang out with us on Instagram. We got we kind of hijacked Bo Diggle's Discord server, so we've got a pretty big Discord server we got going. And
dude, we need to think about a Discord server, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on. I didn't realize you guys had one. I'm gonna have to get on that, Hank. I didn't know you guys had that.
Yeah, we'll get y'all the links for it. But,
yeah, dude. I'll put that in the description of this episode too.
Hell yeah. But we got I know Kyle on his Sunday Night Secret Society page and on the 643 Instagram pages. Both of our link trees are in there, so for anybody that wants to go, as my grandmom would say, pilfering around and snooping through things,
go around the pilfers.
Yeah. You go find out some more about this gentleman. Tonight's the last. I can't wait for the next segment of this because I mean we spent all this time and barely got anywhere on the iceberg is Disney, and the option truly limitless where we can go with this. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that all the listeners enjoyed it, and if not, fuck them.
Yeah. Well, if not, fuck them.
With the most humility possible.
Yeah, we mean that in the most nurturing and caring manner possible.
Absolutely. If you don't think it's a possibility, well,
fuck yeah.
Dadgummit. We can't do anything about that.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, Hank, we really appreciate it. So for the Iowa Talk guys, because Hank, you better start thinking of something since we don't have E-Rock here. You're going to have to let our listeners know.
You know the drill.
You know the drill.
You know the drill.
So start thinking right now, Hank. All right.
I got you.
For everybody else, follow us on Instagram, Iowa Talk Guys _ podcast.
Follow us on X.
Twitter.
At Iowa Talk Guys.
Yeah, us millennials call it Twitter.
Right.
Yeah. We got the YouTube up. Rumble's coming. E-Rock is in the process of getting everything transferred over to Rumble now. So we got a Rumble channel. So if you can give us a follow on that as well, like, subscribe, share, we would really appreciate it. Helps with the algorithms. Holy shit, if I could talk. It would help.
Crikey.
It'd help too, mate. And as always remember.
Don't eat the yellow cake.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
And don't go riding Splash Mountain.
Don't go.
Well, you can't.
They took it down.
You can't, you jackass. Perfect ending. Iowa Talk Guys.
Out.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
And I'd rather be here. I'd rather be here. So thank you very much. Very nice. Appreciate it.